Properties. Default, that's why. Okay, so thing, voice meter, aux output. Testing, hello there. Let me see if there's a sound effect coming through like that. And clapping is a good one. I think I have it going through both of them. So instead, I will just put this on the nano. Okay, so now I'm over here and the sound effects are over here. Yes, okay. And then I need to change this properties to voice meter aux input. All right, try talking.
Yo, I'm here.
Yes, okay, it should be working on the stream. Let's see if it's in fact working on the stream. Home should be the thing, and then it's got stuff. Oh, I have the thing muted, so let me unmute the site for a second. Home should be the thing. All right, talk, Chris. It's got stuff.
I'm talking.
Oh,
I'm singing.
I have the thing
I'm
muted,
singing.
so let me unmute the site for a second. Home should be the thing. All right, talk, Chris. It's got stuff.
I'm talking. I'm still talking.
Oh, okay, so there we now. Sorry, that was a weird echo chamber.
That's how I like to live.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, well, never mind. I was gonna say, yeah, never mind. I used a visual last time, and I worried that it got it struck. But it looks like Chinny's not keeping any of our videos for any of the episodes of the podcast. So,
like you put all that effort in, didn't it?
I know, right? Okay. Let me do a search for last Sunday. Let's see. Maybe I can just. No, that's gonna take forever. Background. Free public domain backgrounds. Yeah, but that's not. Where's the one I used last time? I think this is the one I used last time. There it is. Okay. YouTube. And then I need to tell it that it's this. Yeah, okay. Hey, there we go. Now we're looking good. I mean, I'm going to edit a lot of this out. Don't worry.
Oh, it's all gold.
Now, if Stu would just get here, we'd be all set.
Yeah. Right. Diva.
Now, if I move this. Oh, okay, good. If I move that window, that's still okay. Alrighty. So, I guess I shouldn't ask you about what's been going on because you'll have that in the story time maybe. But
yeah, don't waste it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Burning show. Yeah, right.
Exactly. So, what can we discuss? You know that Chinny's moving house, right?
Yeah, yeah. Where's he going to? Is he in Wolverhampton still? I'm assuming so.
That's my guess, but I couldn't tell you for sure. I know he sent us pictures of his place, which is all messy, and I don't want to try switching the pictures from my phone to the camera to put them in the background, but I could put Chinny's messy dining room as our background if we wanted to.
Yeah. So, shame not to catch up with him because it's been a while.
Yeah,
I've been meaning to do the VR poker thing with them for a while and the VR golfing as well, but you know,
I don't even know if Chinny still uses his VR headset at all. To be honest with you,
doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you been playing it a lot? I guess we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can talk about that, but I wasn't intending to particularly because I'm a bit like Stu, really. I buy loads of games for it, but don't really play them.
Yeah, except you admit it. Stu never admits that.
Yeah. Oh, it's like he says, 30% off.
Yeah, right. Buy it. Sure. No doubt.
They keep throwing these vouchers at me.
Yeah.
I was buy something with them.
And then there's me who goes, this game's free on Epic Game Store, but meh.
I know. Yeah, I've accrued about 200 games off Epic Game Store and I've not played like one of them.
And there's some that I kind of want to play. Like there's one, it looked like it's kind of a Fallout meets XCOM type thing with ducks and stuff. And like it looks interesting, but I'm like,
there are some really good games that have come through on it, and like sort of modern indie classics and stuff like that. Yeah. But I don't really turn my computer on. It's more hassle than it's worth. I know that's how you roll. But.
Yeah,
mine's just so noisy. That's why I'm using my work laptop because mine sounds like a jet engine taking off my gaming PC. So it's just not that fun to be around.
When did you get it, or when did you build it?
Oh, well, I bought a cheap one off Facebook a couple of years back, and I just put an old graphics card that I had in it, and it's like a really old school i7 processor in it, which is like the worst part of it, and it can just about play like PS3 stuff.
Yeah.
fine.
So it's
And
a
that's
little
kind of
older.
all I wanted. So just so I could play like
Yeah.
the indie games that don't come out, but
Right,
everything's coming
right.
out on all the systems these days, so
You know, that's
it
how I
doesn't
got
really
started
matter.
on it. Yeah, I had some crappy laptop I bought for like $50 once upon a time, and I just went to, old bookstores to buy, like MS-DOS games and shit. And then eventually it was like, I'll put it on my Mac, and I did the dual install because I was like, I don't want to. I was just thinking about this. So funny we talk about it. I was thinking about how like back in the day, I was like, well, I've always been a Mac user. I don't want to start learning Windows, but
I
I
remember
learned
you
how to.
didn't want to learn or try anything yourself, did you? You didn't want to do any building. You're like, I'll
Yeah,
pay a guy to do
exactly.
that. I
Well,
know, I'm
that
not
and
like,
even just Windows. I was like, I don't want. But I was like, I'll learn how to segment my goddamn hard drive to install Windows on my Mac, and it was like that was a lot more complicated than just getting a, Windows PC or a laptop or something. But go figure.
yeah,
So, and now
you
I'm
worked it
deep
out.
in it. A friend of mine was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Yeah,
entrenched.
oh the teacher who teaches next door to me, he's like, yeah, my son's talking about like getting a PC for gaming," and I'm like, "Yeah, I did that." He's like, "What? What did you buy?" I was like, "Well, I actually built mine." He's like, "You built?" It's like, dude, it's really not that complicated. Like, that was how I was thinking, but it turned out a lot easier than I expected. So.
I mean, I've always enjoyed that fucking around with stuff thing. You
Yeah.
know, I've always been every time I get a console like a Vita, I hacked it, and like 3DS, I hacked it, and just like I love the. I spend more time tinkering around, installing like weird hacking software and stuff just to see what I can do with it than actually
Yeah.
playing the games on it.
Right,
So
right.
like,
That
I
is the
would
game for you.
yeah. So yeah, and I've done it with like my PS2. I installed a hard disk on that and got worked out how to get it all connected and set up. I love all that stuff, but
Yeah.
at the point where I needed a new graphics card, and it just started to shit hit the fan with all the Bitcoin stuff, and it's just like I don't want to spend the same amount that I spent on my PC on a graphics card.
Oh, I don't blame you. It's
And
nuts.
I just especially if I've got a PS5 in the corner, it doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah, right, no doubt. And that's, I don't mind the tinkering part, but as soon as something goes wrong, I don't know if I've probably talked about this with you before, but like mechanical stuff, like when my bike breaks, I'm like, it's a bike. What are you gonna do? Like, there's nothing you can do about it. My chain gets all mangled, and I'm like, all right, I'll walk my bike home. It's cool. Something goes wrong, like my phone hesitates for 30 seconds, and I'm like, God damn it, piece. Something about electronic things going wrong, it just drives me nuts. So the fear of something going wrong has been what's always like made me nervous about tinkering with PCs and stuff. So
I think my fear is that my willingness to have a go is way higher than my ability. So trying to hack a PS2 like a PS2 Slim, I just melted like two circuit boards trying to solder stuff. Like they're like it's a simple solder, you can't really go wrong, and I've just like melted the entire case.
Oh yeah, watch this. I'll show you.
How buttons like welded to the case.
Hey, Stu's finally coming in. How about that? Now, here's the question though, Chris. Have you ever gotten out a hacksaw to break into you?
I haven't. I mean, not quite.
Yeah.
Hey,
insane. It's Stu in the mute.
Stu, Barney McGrew.
Unmute yourself.
I've done it. Why is it getting muted all the time?
Because I don't know. That's the default.
Have you got it set to that?
My school probably does that by default.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, for God's sake. Hold up. I've only just come in. We've had friends round tonight, so I'm a bit late.
Oh, you lag. Oh, God. You can believe this.
All my pages have disappeared just to piss me off.
Your pages?
Yeah, pages? On Google, it's like, oh, do you want to restore all those pages we've just moved?
You mean the tabs?
Yeah. Everything had disappeared. Hold up.
I gotta be careful when I scroll things.
I haven't.
All right, should we start and then you can get your stuff
I haven't
ready?
done my show notes or anything. Hold on.
Do you really need to do that before we begin?
I suppose. I know what I'm doing then, don't I?
Okay, fine. We can wait. Let's make more small talk. No, wait, we can't because we don't want to waste all the good chatter.
Exactly. Don't waste any good chatter.
I'm finished, guys. Sorry, that's me done.
That's it.
That's all you're getting out of me today.
He gave out what he could. It's a good thing we got it recorded in the pre-show banter.
Exactly. How are you, Chris, anyway?
Pretty good. Yeah. I was just saying to Duke, this is the first time I've podcasted in about 4 years now.
Nice.
So,
well, I was going to ask you actually how long it had been.
Bit rusty.
Nah, you'll be fine.
It's all good. It's all good. It's nice to be back.
Whatever hell have I played? I played something else. I'm like, what did I play today?
What have I played in the last 4 years?
What have I played? I don't know. Hold up.
There we go.
I know, yeah, you've got 4 years worth of games to talk about. Oh, for God's sake, Xbox.
Okay. Yeah, I had to do conferences this week, so I had to change all my Zoom settings and whatnot. But now it's back, and we're looking good.
Are you looking good?
Stu, why aren't the shows showing up on our YouTube feed?
What do you mean? Why aren't they showing? I have no idea. Chinia does a lot of stuff. I know.
I'm just wondering, like, what's his deal? Oh, it doesn't feature me. I want to just have people opening boxes. He's trying to cultivate the channel, is why. He doesn't want
about Chinny here.
Filled up. Oh,
who
Chris
knows
is quitting.
what goes on
Fuck,
in his
they
house.
invite me and then they talk about Chinny. I'm out of here. He's bounced.
Who's bounced?
Chris, you just left.
Why?
I'm just playing. I don't know. He probably had to go do something.
What is it? What?
Hit the
Has
loo.
he really just disappeared?
Well, he muted and stepped away from the camera.
Oh, he's still on the line?
Well, yeah.
Oh, well, you said it as though he'd just gone.
Well,
He's
he did
gone.
go. He
back.
physically
Don't
went.
worry. He's back.
Well, I'm worried. I am worried. He hasn't done this in a
Don't
while.
worry.
He doesn't know. He doesn't remember the kind of trauma that we experience.
He's gone to get a drink.
So what?
Fine.
He should have had it ready.
I don't even know.
I pointed at my cup so you knew what I was doing. I was trying to be as professional as possible.
What show are we on?
Well, then you're on the wrong show. You're trying to be professional, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. We don't do professional. Oh, 685. There we go.
It's in the show notes. Yeah.
Well, I've not looked, have I?
Well, look.
I don't know. Right, are we ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Ready. Let's do this.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
There's a special guest tonight.
Well, you better get your hopes up.
Yeah, I got my hopes up for our special guest.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Oh yeah, here we go, people. Come on, let's do it.
Recording.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Ginny, and the fellas will tell you about every single game that you're playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu's story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite savior.
Hello, darlings.
It's the veteran gamers.
Hit my big freak bill behind Shelbyville.
It's the veteran gamers.
How do you
It's the veteran gamers.
I like the beats and shouting. I'm a potato.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Is today's hectic lifestyle making you tense and impatient?
Shut up and get to the point.
Hello and welcome to episode 685 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yay, 685. What's up, people? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And I'm Chris.
Yeah,
And
Chris
he's
is
Chris.
back, baby. Everyone was like, "Where's Chris? What's up with Chris?" And he's
where's
right
Chris,
here.
man? He's right
Still
here.
alive,
Chris.
still here.
Still alive.
Still
Still
ticking,
kicking.
man. Still ticking.
Yeah.
Dadding. The busy dadding.
Busy
Really?
dadding, I know. Yeah, you've had
That's
loads of stuff
exciting.
that's happened since, like.
So
we've
tell
last
us what's
spoken.
happened in the last 4 years. Sum it up
Yeah,
in
tell
30
us.
seconds. Go.
Yeah, story time.
Yeah.
New house.
Little girl,
My
good on ya.
favorite
Amazing
time.
girl.
It's story time.
Sorry,
Story
I
time.
should have had that going before.
Never
That's it. Well,
fails, does he?
that was
Never
it. That's my
fails.
4 years.
That was it. We got it.
And I'm going to tell you about all the games I've played since 4 years ago. Yeah, I think
The
that's
last 4 years.
That's
There hasn't
Can I
really been
ask
much
you-
come out in the last
That's
4
right.
years, to be honest.
Are you still tapping rocks? Doing all that stuff?
I am still a geologist. Yeah, still saving the planet. Oil spills.
working?
That sort of thing. yeah, we're still
been
doing it. We've
saved
got
yet?
a lot to do. It's,
Wow.
it's an uphill battle. I've got to be honest with you.
Be honest with us, Chris. Are you sending balloons up to look at the rocks? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. What are you doing?
That's
at the
exactly what it is. That's loads of guys
Yeah.
with lots of little rock hammers.
Yeah,
up in
and
there,
they keep
checking them
floating
out.
over America, and then they shoot them down.
I
Yeah,
know,
we do.
I've lost so many guys this week. It's ridiculous.
I know.
Well, there are rocks, thousands and thousands of rocks.
So tell us about an
Ah.
interesting rock you found recently.
Yeah, what's the most interesting thing you've
What-
done recently?
Well, I've just come back from a week off up in Northumberland. Actually, it was my birthday on Friday.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
happy birthday,
much.
Chris.
So we had
How
a
old
cottage
are you
up
now,
there.
you old twat?
Yeah, I'm 44.
44. Jesus Christ!
I
When I
know.
first met you, you were 12.
birthday to you.
I know. It's pretty ridiculous, but on the plus side, for my birthday, I got a go-kart, a transformer, and like just loads of toys and stuff.
When you're
goodness.
saying a go kart, is this like one you can sit in, or
Yeah,
one
yeah. It fits. It
What?
fits me. Yeah, well, it's a small one, but it fits me and my daughter in it at the same time. So
That's awesome.
Wow.
it's pretty excellent.
So this
It
is
was
like
a-
soapbox racing, the sort of
Yeah,
thing. Is
yeah,
that what
yeah.
this
It was
is
a
gonna
complete
be?
surprise from my wife. I had no idea I was getting
Zoom,
it,
zoom.
but we we were out on. Oh, here you go. I can show you guys a photo. This is great for the listeners, but there you go. So that fits both of us on it, and I push her around on it, push her down the hills, and we took it out on the beach. So I had a nice few days out scouring beaches for rocks, thousands and thousands of rocks, and most of them are in my car now, like all the shells and the rocks and everything, and then they stay there until the next holiday, and then we throw them out and put a new set in.
New set of rocks.
All the rocks that we bring back.
So are you going to attach one of those kites to your go-kart on the beach?
I have considered that, because I'm so fat and old now. It was quite tiring. All the pushing was really tiring.
Yeah,
I'm not sure strapping my 4-year-old to a kite that's going to drag her on the beach is such a good idea.
Idea.
Oh, you're one of those fathers, huh? I don't want my kid to get run over.
No, why are you worrying?
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, I've had a nice few days off. Drinking too much. It was nice to have a few drinks. Yeah.
Drink. If only, Chris.
You off the booze?
No, you may not have heard, I guess, because if you've not been listening to the show for a while.
This is story time for you.
Yeah, there's a bit of a story time. I've got heart failure, mate.
Oh, shit.
So, so there's no drinking for me ever.
When you say that sounds pretty bad when you say it like that. Is that...
It is and it isn't.
Exaggerating a little bit.
No, not really. It kind of is and it isn't. I'm sort of on lots of drugs and it's fine. Drugs are good. Okay. See, everyone says drugs are bad, but they're not. They're good.
It's manageable. You're not going to just drop dead halfway through the show because I'm not too sure. Yeah.
Hopefully not. Although I have got an appointment on the 21st of March. Oh, nice. I like it, dude. Yes, very good. Yes. I've got an appointment on the 21st of March for an IDC assessment. So we're going to stick one of those like defibrillators in me.
Oh, wow.
So just in case it just stops, just to be on the safe side, I guess.
That's really scary. I mean, I had to have a heart trace last week, actually, because they came into work to do our work.
Oh,
health assessment things. And the nurse comes in and goes, your pulse is irregular. Do you know that? I was like, no. Yeah, there's a beat, Mr. Beat.
That's how mine started, just saying.
Mr. Beat. So I was like, shit, I had no idea. And I went in and get it checked out. It turned out it was because I'd had like 5 cups of coffee and loads of cold medicine. And that's all it was.
Mine just carried on.
Yeah, shit. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're okay. I'll try not to scare you too much.
No, I'm fine. As it goes, if I didn't know, I'd say there was nothing wrong with me. So that's probably a good thing, I guess.
That is a good sign.
Well, with your heart anyway. That's good.
Yeah, but I was pretty ill for a time, and obviously it's never going away. It is kind of what it is.
But it's manageable. You can find lifestyle changes and medicine.
Well,
hopefully.
He's supposed to be doing lifestyle changes.
Live a long, healthy, nerdy life.
I can only drink 2 liters of water a day. What else? There's lots of things I'm not allowed to do anyway.
No, you aren't supposed to drink, right? No booze.
I've lost 3 stones, so there's that. So I've lost 3 stones in weight.
Yeah,
well done.
Skinny stew.
Dinner's better. Not really. I'm still a bit fat. Still need to lose another stone, to be honest.
Well, 3 stones is nothing to sneeze at. That's a lot of weight.
No, true. But 1.5 stones of that was fluid. So it was literally, I just
pissed it away
in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks it was gone.
Like a bonus check. You pissed it away.
Empty balls.
Yeah. So it's been a pretty surreal last 6 months or so.
And he won't stop talking about it.
No, well, you don't. Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So
I'm trying to channel Chinny here. Yeah.
Be quiet, Chinny.
No. So it's all
Glad
good.
to see you standing.
Well, I'm sitting, to be fair, because I can't really stand for very long. No, that's not true. I'm back at work full time and everything, so I'm fine.
That's good. So I mean, just sat at home in your pants playing games all day. Like,
yeah, pretty much. Do you know, I was only off work for 7 weeks. I thought it was a bit crap, to be honest. My doctor's like, yeah, you'll be fine to go back to work. And I'm like, what do you mean I'll be fine? So,
well, as you said, Chris, he is still standing. Or as like Elton John said, it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind.
I thought it was I'm still standing.
Brilliant.
Right, that was the joke. Hello.
Yeah.
I have decided on a
people
funeral,
should think before they speak.
You know, like you have to have a song for your funeral. I've decided
I think your
on
family
that.
will take care of that. You don't have to pick it.
No, I've got it. I'm going to have JLS. My heart won't beat again. That's what I'm on.
Oh, there's that. Or you could do Dionne Warwick. Not Dionne Warwick. Celine Dion.
My heart will go on. No, that doesn't work.
Wherever you. It's not literal, dude.
One?
Yeah, that's the best thing to have at a funeral is literal songs.
Ollie Murs.
Heart Alone. Yeah, Heart Alone's a good one.
Olimers, my heart skips a beat.
Or you could do like, I'm dead now and I'm never going to be alive again. That's a good literal song for a funeral.
Well, that's a bit morbid, dude.
Wow.
Well,
You're in
what
charge
is
of the,
heart
you're
will
in
never
charge
beat
of the
again.
playlist.
Wow,
Yeah.
you had to go there.
What about
Bloody hell.
Firestarter?
Over there trying to make, making light of it, and you're you're dead.
What?
Wow. Well,
I was playing along
way
with
to
the
bring
theme
down
of
the
literal
show.
songs. Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's not a song. What song is that? Not even
It's a
song.
great song. It's an awesome song from the Indefatigable
made that
Neural
up.
System. All right, are we ready? Did you have anything else you wanted to chat about, Chris, before you get into games?
Yeah, Chris. Anything else
No,
happened in your
Birthday,
exciting life?
geology, kids. All right.
No,
How old
no.
are your kids now?
I've just got the one. Anya,
Okay.
she's 4 now. She's just was 4 in
Okay.
December,
Oh, very
so
sweet.
she's just the right age of all
Just
sorts of
before
fun.
COVID.
She's just the right age
Yeah.
for GTA.
Yeah, well, she's
Yeah, she is.
I'm getting into games. I'll talk to you about the ins and outs of Paw
Yeah,
Patrol
that's
later.
what I'm talking about.
Don't worry.
Well, I'm going to talk about that as well.
Where are you
tonight,
going?
really.
Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
What you been playing? What you been playing?
So,
So-
Chris, as you've got 4 years worth of games to talk about, I guess you should go
Better
first.
get started. Come on.
Yeah, you better get going, man.
Yeah.
What's the best
Okay.
game you played in the last 4 years? We should ask you that first. I guess.
Jesus, I hadn't really thought about. Can't think that far back. I mean, I was going to talk about God of War because I know that's what Duke wanted me to talk about. But that's what I'm playing. That's what I'm playing at the moment. Is God of War. I would say that I liked Horizon Forbidden West more. I enjoyed it a lot more. I'm struggling to get through God of War. Actually, I think it's just too big a game for me these days. Like, I mean, Horizon. I don't know. I can't think of what games I've played over the last 4 years other than the ones I've played recently. I mean,
Well, there's
Ratchet and
obviously
Clank was
nothing
good.
memorable.
Ratchet and Clank was really good. I'm just trying to think back of like big
Mind you,
games.
you're old
Wait,
now,
Ratchet
aren't
and
you?
Clank.
You're
Which
not-
Ratchet
no.
and Clank did you play?
Yeah, which one?
The most recent one. What's it called? Rips Apart.
Okay.
maybe?
Rift Apart, yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Have you
yeah,
played
that
the
was good.
other ones back in the day?
I did. I loved them all, and
Yeah,
I actually
they're
went back
classic.
because there was a couple of like the PS3 ones, like into the Nexus, I think it was called.
Okay.
Like, and I hadn't played those back in the day for some reason. I skipped them somehow, but I went back and played those actually on a PS3.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm okay. I once I'd swapped out the controller because those old PS3 controllers are shit. That's still fun to play. Like I can still sit down and play a PS3 game, and my eyes don't bleed or anything. So
Those games are like the thing I miss most about the PlayStation. I got to be honest. Like they were
Yeah.
so well done. They were so much fun. They were so
they were
interesting.
quick. They were witty.
Yeah,
and-
they were actually funny.
Yeah, just a lot of fun. So that I guess. Horizon was too big as well. Like a lot of these games are, and a lot of I know it's just, like there's a lot of skipping of cutscenes going on, especially for like side stuff that I'm not into.
No, you're supposed to be drawn into the characters, man.
Yeah,
I think
some of
here's a
some of it's
problem,
really good.
Chris.
Yeah, I do enjoy a lot of it, but
When you've got kids, you just haven't got the time, have you, to play games like you used to?
well, that's the trouble. Yeah, and that's what I find. I play in the evenings, but even then, I'm too tired from work. It's been busy with work, and I chip away at it. And like God of War, I think I'm like 20 hours in, 25 hours in now, maybe. And I've just got the spear thing, the third weapon. So
Okay.
I don't really know how far I am through, but I kind of want to just do the mainline shit and get it done now. But I struggle not to just like hunt around for things. And
Yeah,
then
get distracted.
I get distracted, and I'll find that I've spent the whole evening and I've not really achieved very much, and then it's another day. So I started playing it when it came out. I got it the day it came
So
out.
can I ask,
I'm
have you
still
got
playing it now.
Have you got a PS5? Have you upgraded?
I have got a PS5. Yeah. I got one pretty early on. I got one just after Returnal came out. I mean, I would have got it sooner, but it was just a nightmare to get hold of them at that point.
Oh, horrendous.
But so I've pretty much picked up all the main PS5 exclusives as they've come out and played them through. So I guess I've got the Quarry to play as well. But that's another thing. There's so many games that I've got. I mean, I think I'm like used to. I just buy a lot of games.
I'm not buying any anymore,
Are you not?
Because I've got.
Because you're using Game Pass, yeah.
I'm just
for
using
sure.
Game Pass. I have bought a game recently.
Sales is like I'm especially on the Switch. I'm like, oh god, that's like 70% off. I may as well just buy it now.
I know that's the trouble, isn't it?
So,
but I've got my eye on a few
more
games.
games
I'm just
in a
waiting
sense.
for them to come down in price because I want to play the latest Man of Medan thing. What's that one called? The Devil Within. Is it the Devil Within? So I want to play that. So I'm waiting until that comes down in price a little bit. And what's the other one? There's another game I've had my eye on. I'm just waiting for it to drop in price. So there's quite a few. Hogwarts Legacy, I'll probably play when that goes down in price a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I do is I pretty much buy everything when it's on sale. I never buy stuff new these days. But I had the PS Plus Premium for ages, and I realized that I wasn't using it, so I just dropped back to the basic. And most of those games, as you just stockpile them, don't you? And then you think, oh, I'll play it at some point, and then you never get around to it. So I don't know. But yeah, it's quite nice to be in a position where I can just go, right, I really want that game. I want to play the new Wizard game, even though J.K. Rowling's
No, that's why I said I wouldn't mind that to come down in price.
I think it's like I've got a disc PS5, I can buy it used, so I don't have to feel guilty if people, want to go down that route.
Yeah. So you're not giving any money to
yeah, precisely. But I've got to finish God of War before I can even think about
so
that.
How do you like God of War compared to the first one?
I feel like it's really good. I mean, it's brilliant. It's great. I mean, I don't know what sort of spoiler territory you went into. I'll try not
Chini's
to. But
finished it. I'm probably around the same point that you are, to be honest.
Okay, so you're still playing it.
Yeah, but that's because Elden Ring finally got me.
Yeah. I did hear you talk about that on one show. Yeah.
And you're so exhausted from kids and your job. I'm sure, Chris, when you come home at the end of the day, you want to play Elden Ring.
I'm playing on easy mode.
You've installed like an easy mod, haven't you? Yeah. I would love that game. I think I would love that game.
Makes
but I think
such a difference.
I wouldn't be able to get anywhere. I mean, people that you wouldn't.
Oh, no, you would. I think if I'd have persisted, I would have eventually got some, but I would have been nowhere near where I am now.
Yeah.
I'd have been playing it for hundreds of hours to get to the point I am
that's it.
now.
I mean, I tried playing Demon's Souls remastered, and I played that back on the PS3, and I've tried to go back to it this time. And yeah, the job and the family stuff, like bashing your head against a brick wall all evening, and you realize that's a whole evening gone, and I haven't achieved anything. I'm literally at the same point I was when I started.
Whereas with the easy mod, is fun because you're not ultra. I was telling you, sometimes I
had to ask.
You do get, obviously the earlier areas are easy, but you still come across stuff that's still too hard to do, even though I'm like level 122 now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sort of, because what the easy mod does, it reduces the amount of damage you take off enemies.
I had to ask.
Shut up, you. It increases the amount of damage you do, and then it also increases the amount, like, you can level up a lot quicker. So it sort of does about 3 different things.
I'd be interested to try the regular version. I mean, I'm still, because I've always sort of played stuff on normal. I'm not particularly good at games, and I'm at the point now where I should be starting to drop things to easy. And I think, like, with God of War, I'm playing it on normal, and it's fine. Sometimes I'll hit a point where I'm like, I've tried this field. Some of what are they called? Where you got to kill, like, they were like the Valkyries.
They're called boss
the
fights.
Game. Yeah, like the boss fights you have to find. Yeah, but they're like you put a key in a thing and then you have to kill. The optional bosses. Like there was one of those that I was the first one of those that I found. There's one like in a massive ice lake. And one evening I just started playing that, and I just tried it again and again. And I didn't even have like full energy when I started. My brain was broken, and I just kept playing again and again. And I played it all evening, this one boss, and like I literally had RSI in my thumbs, and like the following day.
That's how you know you're doing it for real. You're a real man. It matters. It's important.
What am I doing with my life? That is not productive for anything. Like
no.
But it did get me mean that I was better at the game. So when as I progressed through the game, like I'd got more used to the controls and like the systems and stuff. So it's worth a little bit of punishment to get good at the game, I think. But
I think that's similar to Elden Ring, because playing it on easy mode, you get to experience more of the game because you're just not constantly dying all the time. So you get more chance to explore the systems and everything. Whereas when you're dying constantly, you don't.
All you can focus on is like,
try not to die. Yeah, try not to die. And even I'm way better at dodging stuff now. Even though I'm playing, I don't get hit hardly ever as often as I would have done at the beginning of the game, because I've had time to practice. You know what I mean? Dodging stuff, because you don't have time. You might dodge once and then get killed. You know what I mean? So you get more time to just practice stuff. It does make a massive difference. It's for people who don't want to just have constant punishment, it's massively better.
I might drop God of War down a level. I don't feel like I need to. I just need to get my head down. But I'm
done.
Loving, just get it done. I mean, I'm enjoying the fact that you play as the characters. I think they've mixed it up quite a lot. But it is a massive game, even though I'm maybe taking longer than I should. It is still a really long game, and there's lots of bits where I'm like, yeah, I'm just more climbing and just more chatting and more climbing and more chatting. I'm like, okay, and I don't feel like. I mean, maybe there is later on. I'm sure the previous game was better for it. Like the old God of War games were known for like ridiculously massive bosses where you're like climbing up, almost much bigger
the
than
originals
Shadow of
you're talking
Colossus
about, like
type
back in the
ones,
day. Yeah,
and you're taking down huge things. It doesn't feel like there's quite as much of that, but I don't need that. But I don't know. It's a bit of a slog I'm finding, and I'm surprised because I am enjoying it, but all of a sudden I'm like. I'm starting to wonder how far through am I now? Have I got another 10 hours of this? Because I kind of want to play something else.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if games had some sort of like indicator of how close to the end you are. I mean, obviously, a lot of games will tell you like story missions 48% or whatever it is, but I wouldn't mind like on a loading screen, just like some.
It's
sort
really
of, like,
hard. Like you go to like how long to beat, and you can look at how long it takes to like, and that's for a normal person. Someone's not.
I don't know.
Well,
I think
that,
sometimes some of these people who are on bloody how long to beat, it's some people just are dedicated, aren't they, to finishing stuff?
Well, yeah.
So it's almost like they do it way faster than I always add another few hours onto whatever it says on there. I'm like,
it's always an
there's like a stupidity factor. You got to put in a stupidity factor of like I've got lost for like 3 hours.
Old factor. Yeah, you've got to factor in ages for us guys, older people.
Yeah. Anything else about Ragnarok there?
No, like Atreus is good, as I say. That it's good having those other characters in there. I mean, it's technically great, as you already said about it. But no, I don't think I need to say much more about it. Just like I don't wish it was over. I just want to just sort of mainline it, get it done. It's not to say that I'm not enjoying it, but it's a beast. It is a
beast. Oh, I will get back to it at some point eventually. It's the last. It's the first and last PS4 game I've probably bought in the last 3 years. I've barely played on my PlayStation at all until this came out. So yeah, I'm a total Xbox fanboy now.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, forget that PlayStation. What is that anymore?
That's fine.
Yeah, it's still it does sound like a hurricane.
Right. Okay, so are we talking? Why don't we talk about the Play My Game bitch, or is that?
All right, okay, let's do
Chris,
that.
did you play this as well?
No, he's not got an Xbox.
Okay, well, you can make it.
He's no Xbox.
All right, here's the theme song.
Bitch.
Yeah, bitch!
Yeah, bitch!
Play my game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection.
Yeah, bitch!
So this is the part of the show where we talk about a game that we all played. Except usually Chinny doesn't play it, so Chris fits right in.
It's just the same. It's just the same.
So this week, Stu wanted to play Shadow Warrior 3.
I did.
Yeah. So why this game?
Well, I don't know. It came out on Game Pass, and it looked pretty. I like the second one. I played Shadow Warrior 2, and that was
I think I played the first one when they remade it or something. I know I played one of these at one point.
It's like dumbass action games, right?
Oh, it's massively
dumbass action game.
Bit of comedy in there.
Yeah. For instance, combat. Listeners, here's what you need to know. When you start the game, there's this guy talking over narration, and it zooms in on where he is, and it says Wang Cove. Get it?
It does.
Wang Cove, because his name is Wang.
Pants and vest.
It's Duke Nukem Central.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
It's that kind of like, clearly this was written by people who went to Eton and Oxford. Very highbrow.
Oh yeah,
humor.
very highbrow.
Yeah,
very highbrow.
But it's fun. It's madcap. Here's the thing. I'll just go ahead and say it now. This game is frenetic. It's freaking bonkers. It's very satisfying gunplay, but it's also got melee weapons in the form of the sword. It's got magic. It's got fantasy elements in it. But here's the thing. I've already got a game like that. It's called Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. So as much as I enjoyed this, I was like, I don't know. I can't see myself playing this when I've got this other fantasy shooter with monsters and stuff in it.
The only thing I would say for me, and I don't know whether you felt this, Duke, it felt like the camera was too close to you somehow. Like the first person camera just felt a bit I don't know, a bit weird.
It is kind of claustrophobic in that sense.
Yeah,
like
weird.
There's a lot happening.
Like when you're fighting enemies, sometimes you can't see them because you're turning around, and it's just everything seems too close.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many first-person games you play, but that tends to be
not for a while, I guess.
Well, that's the thing, is that a lot of shooters, for instance, the enemy never gets very close because you're obviously shooting at them from some distance. But you know, you play Skyrim in that you got enemies right up on you, so I'm kind of used to it, and I don't know, that might be a factor of playing a lot of first-person games, but you know, it's got actually genuinely good humor. It is at its heart.
It is funny. I laughed a few times.
But it's also got like good mechanics. Like it's very satisfying to be able to kill monsters. And you know, if you have these guns, why would you use your sword? Well, because you run out of ammo a lot, but you have this perk you can activate where when you kill an enemy with your sword, you get ammo. So it's nice to have the combination. And they introduced grappling hooks at one point. When you're grappling, you're just zipping through the air, and he goes, "Does whatever a spider can." I was like, "Okay, that's pretty cute.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny." I did chuckle at that. So, yeah, it's, you know, I feel the way about this game that I did the last one I played, whichever one it was, which is that it's polished, it's funny, it's really satisfying to beat these monsters over and over again. But I don't think I'm gonna play it. Like, for whatever reason, it doesn't hook me. It doesn't make me want to keep playing it. And that's probably because, like I said, I have this other game, but yeah.
I must admit, I like the art style, and I like you said, it's brutal as well. You can do some really cool finishes.
Yeah.
So they're always fun.
Yeah, and it's got, you know, mechanics where you're running on the side, but it's very easy to tell what you're supposed to do because it's the green plants on the wall and stuff. You can double jump, which, I mean, that's, any game is great from a double jump thing.
Then you get a slingshot, I guess. I don't know, a swing.
Yeah.
That you can
hook.
fling out.
Yep.
What I also quite liked about it is, like, one of the enemies, you do a finisher, but then you pull his eye out, and that turns into like an ice grenade.
Yeah, it does.
So
it's very
like,
gruesome when one dude, you rip his skull out and his spinal cord's dangling, and then you crush it, and the other one, you make his eye explode, and it's an ice thing. It's like very, like I said, very satisfying, and yeah, it's really crazy. It's like way over the top. And, you know, it's that thing of, and you were sort of alluding to this before, Chris, like when you go bigger and bigger and bigger, at a certain point, like how big do you go? You know what I mean? Like, how can you make it a bigger challenge? And I was talking about this with a teacher friend of mine about the Marvel movies, like the new one that's out now, some ant thing, like that's multiverses, you know what I mean? And it's like, of course it is, because at a certain point, you know, you make it bigger, and then it has to be like civil war between all the different parts of the world, and then you reboot it.
Then what do
right?
you?
Yeah. So it's
take it back, strip it back, start again.
Yeah, exactly. So this game is obviously like, you know, the war, you know, the gods are hating you, and there's this enormous dragon, and it's like, how much bigger can you get, right? And you know, Saints Row saw this, and they realized, okay, we can't get more wacky and crazy unless we suspend the laws of physics, which is what they did in the fourth one. So I don't know what they're going to do. You know, they reboot.
I quite like the fact that, like all the flashbacks, like he's screwed up.
Yeah.
He was meant to sort out the big dragon and made a mess of it.
Yeah, right. And that's cool. And, you know, the storytelling's good. The characters are interesting. There's nothing at all wrong with this game. Like, I should love it and want to play it a lot. But
I like this way better than High on Life, can I just say?
Yeah, I think the mechanics on this are a lot better. The mechanics on this are a lot better than High on Life. I agree with that.
And it's a similar type of game, to be honest. And I thought the humor was better.
It is.
I like the humor better.
It's less meta. It's less. I mean, you know, I like the humor of this better too because, you know, Rick and Morty, I've made clear, is just not for me in general sense.
No, I'm the same. I don't get it.
Yeah. But no, the Shadow Warrior, thumbs up. You know, it's on Game Pass. It's worth a look. It's cute, and you know, there's a lot worse games out there. So give it a try. Why not?
Definitely. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, are we going to go back to Chris, seeing he's got 4 years?
Yeah, why not?
Let's go back to
Chris. Keep bouncing back to you.
I was trying to think of the things that I've played. Yeah, I mean, it was a while ago now. I mean, I've always been a big fan of Metroidvanias. Like, I've always liked Castlevania, and I've always liked Metroid. So I've generally always got one of those type of games on the go at any one time. But did any of you guys ever play Ori and the Will of the Wisps?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you?
Oh no, I played Blind Forest. I didn't play Will of the Wisp. I played Blind Forest.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I'm the same. I played the first one.
I mean, I played both of them. I love the first one, but the second one is even better. But in every way. and I just loved that game. I played it on Switch, which because I don't have an Xbox and my PC couldn't run it, so the Switch is as good as it got. But even on big screen, that was amazing, and that game is just amazing. It's on sale a lot, and I love that game. The music's beautiful, the artwork.
I feel like it's on Game Pass,
phenomenal.
to be honest. I'm almost sure it is.
Play the hell out of that game. It's really,
sure
really good. It isn't for everybody. I mean, it does get tricky as well, but it's just really good fun. And so, all my friends that have got Switches and stuff, whenever I see it on sale, I'm like, guys, we bought this yet? You got to get this because it's just too good. For £8, it's crazy not to. But so that I really enjoyed the hell out of that. I played through and finished Metroid Dread as well.
All right, so
I'm not going to call that Metroidvania because I get punched by somebody.
It is a Metroid game.
So that game is phenomenal. I mean, Rob and I were both quite reluctant to play it because if you've ever seen any sort of videos on it or whatever, like the new hook, it's like a normal side-scrolling Metroid game, like the old school ones, like Super Metroid or whatnot, shinied up for Switch, but a completely new game. But there's kind of the new twist on it was having these robots called Emmys, which are like each area has these sort of invincible robots that are like hunting you. And once they start following you, they're chasing you down. And have any of you guys played Resident Evil 3? Like either the original or the new one?
Oh, no, I played the remake.
The remake. I'm assuming I didn't play the remake for the same reason that I don't like that style of thing where you're trying to solve puzzles and you're trying to like work out where the hell to go or solve a puzzle and you're being hunted and you're having to run away from something that will like legitimately just kill you dead if it catches you. So you can't, you're trying to like, do I get on this corridor? I'm lost enough as it is. If I go out and then something's chasing you and you're trying to run away at the same time
as well, to be fair.
With that, it wasn't quite so bad, but like I never played Resident Evil 3 properly because I just didn't like that style. And when I saw that that's how this game worked, I was like, I don't want that in my Metroid. That just seems that really put me off. But once I got it and thought I'm going to give it a try because it does appear to be a really good game. It's reviewing well. The systems were just way better than I thought, and that mechanic was nowhere near as bad because there was one of these robots, and each different. You're basically way underground, and you open up an area, and you work around that area. You're doing all the Metroid things where you're having to I can't get past this bit, but I need to get a power up. I need to get a weapon, and they're constantly giving you more and more weapons and more abilities. You get so much cool shit over the course of the game, but these robots that are hunting you. They're very specific areas. You got to sort of go through a weird door, and as soon as you go through that door, that's when it starts hunting you, and you're trying to get. You can like hide, and you can like use a chameleon to hide yourself. And you've got to get to the point where you got to find the room that it's sort of housed in. It's got like a mother brain in that room, and if you can sneak your way through past it and manage to get past it, then you get an opportunity to try and kill it. Once you've killed that specific one for that area, it then doesn't come after you again. So. It's almost like as soon as you've done that, it's like, oh, phew, I can play this whole area without having to be worried about being hunted. Yeah. So it isn't a relentless sort of fear that you're constantly because it's a hell of a lot of exploration. There's all these crazy paths to find, and it's a huge game with lots of hidden areas and the number of power-ups and different abilities that you need to get through to different areas is staggering. But it all comes together really well. It does it in a very sensible way. You're always feeling like you're a bit stronger, and it just gives you abilities that are enjoyable. And that whole mechanic turned out to be nothing to be worried about. I actually quite enjoyed it once I worked out how it worked. It was really good fun. So
sorry to interrupt. This person we're looking at the gameplay. They seem to be hitting a lot of dead ends a lot. Is that part of the game?
Yeah,
I know that's always been part of Metroid, but
it is. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I mean. It is, but I don't like it. I mean, I very easily get confused in games. I get lost, and I know. And now in JRPGs, especially if it takes a long time to get through these games. I need a marker that says you need to go here right now.
Oh,
I don't want to have to have remembered a conversation that someone told me to go somewhere 7 days ago when I played it, to know where I have to go. Yeah. So, but Metroid's really good. It's got a really complicated map, and everything is really finely detailed. And once you get to grips, as you get into the game, you sort of get to grips with everything, and it telegraphs quite cleverly where you need to be going next. And and if you run into a roadblock, then you can tell that, and you think this isn't for now. I'll go back and do it another time. Right. So there was very few points where I was really frustrated. I mean, the boss battles are hard. Like the final boss One of my mates played through the whole game, and he got to the final boss, and he said, I did it 100 times, couldn't do it, and he just gave up on it. And I was almost the same. I played it. I must have died like 70 times trying to kill this guy. And I know I did it, and I had sort of stuck thumb again. It's just ridiculous. But like, I'm not playing like 15 hours.
Now you get to make fun of your mate. You suck. You loser.
Precisely.
Get good.
If you get as good as me, then maybe you'll finish it one day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, recommend that as well. If you're put off by the dread side of things, it's a kick-ass Metroid game.
Okay.
So there we go. Another game.
No.
It does look cool. It just reminds me of Shadow Complex.
Yeah, Shadow Complex was really good. I played the remaster of that when that came out, and that was because I hadn't had an Xbox, and I played it on PC. So that's still a really good game.
Yeah, I remember.
A lot of these games are quite similar, but very clever. Stories like whatever, but.
Well, yeah. All right. So, Stu, is it back to you, or am I going?
Yeah,
next?
I guess it is.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to talk about. I played another Xbox Game Pass game this week called Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Ooh, okay.
I was like,
I've always liked the look of these.
I like these. Yeah, well, you'd think that, wouldn't you?
Is it not fun? It looks like it's like Alton Towers, but for cars.
They kind of are all right. I'm not a massive fan of kart races, and that's basically what this is. It's kind of a take on Mario Kart, but with Hot Wheels instead. And you get, it's almost, you can tell what this type of game this is going to be, because you get mystery boxes every time you finish a race.
Well, it's a racing game, isn't it? That's
hop over and give you a new car. So it gives you 3 cars to begin with, and I don't know whether everybody gets the same 3 cars. But my first car it gave me was a Citroen 500. Now, who the fuck wants a Citroen 500?
Wow, you got a Citroen 500? That's awesome, dude.
It's like when you play Gran Turismo. They're like, yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
Have a Ford Fiesta. Ford Fiesta. Nice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. You've got to drift, because when you drift, you get your boost.
Okay.
So you got to drift around the corners.
Yeah.
And then that allows you to do these crazy loop-the-loops and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you just... It seemed quite fun. I think it would be more fun playing with your friends.
Well, yeah.
It's a bit boring playing on my own.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Did you win the races? Were you doing well?
I came second in one and won the other. So I won one, came second in another.
Yeah.
And then I got bored.
Yeah. I mean, these are obviously designed for probably for younger players, certainly for groups of people.
It was it's kind of interesting. A lot of the boost stuff's on the tracks.
Yeah.
So there's like speed strips and all that kind of stuff dotted around.
Right.
So it's kind of fun. I mean, a lot of these tracks defy gravity, obviously, because that's part of the fun of Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
And they're all set in different places. So one's like in a basement, one's like on a school campus.
Yeah.
One's set at a skate park.
Mm-hmm. So
they're all sort of set. And then there's at each location, there's lots of different tracks. What I did like about it was all the tracks were kind of unlocked. So they're not behind a progression wall.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing, just looking at it seems like it's very handy in terms of it's clear where you're supposed to go. Because one thing that bugs me about racing games is when it's not clear. So I do like the fact that this makes it very clear where you're supposed to go.
There are areas that are locked, but the first few areas it gives you that all the tracks are unlocked there, so you're not having to. Yeah. But then obviously there's more stuff to unlock as you go along.
Sure.
So it seems massive. I mean, there seems to be a lot of effort went into making this, and having all these different tracks in different areas for you to explore and what have you, and racing.
Who made this?
But I do think this would definitely benefit from, say, 2 or 3 of us, getting together and racing against each other, for sure. Yeah. Apart from the fact that probably if it was me, you, and Chinny would just constantly win.
Well, yeah.
Which would be slightly annoying. But yeah, the locations are great, by the way. They're really well detailed.
This is made by Milestone, which is an Italian company. They made a lot of the WRC games and MotoGP. They made a lot of driving games, so it makes sense. That
the driving feels quite good. I must admit, they seem to have nailed the physics and the drifting and all that kind of stuff.
This is the same company that made Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game. I was wondering who made that. The fuck is that?
If only I'd known, I should have played that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pedigree, I'd have been there.
But I think the problem is you're always comparing it to Mario Kart.
Well, yeah.
Do you know
That's
what
the
I mean?
thing. Like Duke said earlier, like a lot of the time I've already got that game. I don't need to be playing another game. Someone's
that
done that
looks like
already
that
and it's better. So why would I bother?
Right.
And I think that's the problem.
This isn't going to be able to stand out with cuteness. It's not. It doesn't even feel like it's going for cuteness. Really, it feels like it's appealing to like late or early teenage boys. You know what I mean? Like they remember Hot Wheels. They have a devotion to the brand, but they're not ready for like hardcore racing yet. They're still looking for something a little more fun.
See, wasn't there like a Forza Horizon expansion that was Hot Wheels? I remember seeing that and thinking, because I could never have Forza because I don't have an Xbox. I mean, I've got on my PC now, but my graphics card's so shit it looks terrible. But there was that Hot Wheels expansion looked awesome, and I was really gutted that I couldn't play it. But
and they tie into Rocket League and other like the Hot Wheels. You know, every brand is trying to like totally fit into everything else. It's cross promotional, stuff. So, but I just don't know what the real value is on a game like this. So
now, can I ask you, Chris, if this was Penny Racers, how would that be?
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Do you remember Penny Racers?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, they were well cool. Do you know what Penny Racer is, do?
No, and I can't say I'm all that dying to know.
So basically, there were these like you remember the reverse car where you used to pull it back and let it go?
Yes.
No, they're basically them, and you used to put a penny in the back of them, and they would pop a wheelie.
Oh, that sounds great.
They were great.
That reminds me of when I was a kid. My grandmother, bless her soul, she didn't really know much about toys for kids, so she got me this car that was like remote controlled. But the remote control was just this thing that made this loud clicking noise, and it would make the car go from forward to back and to the left. So it couldn't actually reverse. It couldn't actually turn around. But if you spent your time clicking it, it would eventually back up, drive forward, back up, drive forward.
Yeah,
so you could take it in whatever direction you want. But yeah, you have to do a 15-way turn, exactly. However, the worst part was my brother realized eventually that he could just clap, and it did the same thing to the car that the clicker did. So I'd be playing with it. My brother would come up, and it's just sitting there jerking back and forth. I was like,
forwards.
Mark, fuck off. So anyway,
brilliant.
That's my story about
I like your brother, by the way.
Crap
very
kid
funny.
Cars,
funny man.
Right. All right. Anything else about the Hot Wheels game here?
It's okay. I wouldn't go mad for it. I wouldn't be like rushing to play it, but
no.
I don't know. If you want a kart racer on Xbox, that's what you got. If you've not got a Switch, I guess you could play it.
Why not?
Just play it if you fancy it, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Normal.
Yes. Any more muttering you need to do?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Well, I am going to talk about the game I've been playing, which is Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And I know that Chinny played this, so in a way I'm kind of sad that he's not here.
Love this game.
Chris,
Loved it.
Do you ever play any of the Ghost Recon games?
I haven't. No.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
No, not my bag.
So, yeah, this we had talked last time about how this isn't nearly as good as Wildlands, and it isn't. But I've been playing a lot of it because it is a new world, and the mechanics are still basically the same as Wildlands. And I have, Chinny mentioned that his mate Marsh, they played it together for a little while. Chinny got bored with it, and then Marsh was like, "If you keep going, it gets better." And I'm happy to say I've reached the point where it did get better, because in the early part of the I've probably played it for like 8, something like that.
So it took you 8 hours to get to the
No,
good
it probably
bit.
took me 4 to get to the part where it's not as annoying. But I mean, granted, that is a negative for the game.
Of course it is. That's a big chunk of game.
But it's not terrible at the start. It's just that it requires you to keep going back to this central base over and over and over. And when you don't have a lot of fast travel points unlocked, it's well annoying to have to fly around. Even with the helicopter, you fly around and it takes you like a minute to get to where you need to go. So once you unlock a bunch of they're called bivouacs. Once you unlock a bunch of those, it gets a lot better because then you can fast travel to one of those, and then you only have to travel for 30 seconds to get to where you want to go or whatever it is. So yeah, it is and the basic point of the game is and I'm getting to the part, I'm getting good at it again, which means I can get to a base send up the drones, survey where everybody is, and they have this thing, and I'm sure Chinny did this with his mate in real time, where they mark opponents, and then they take them out one by one. I have my AI teammates that can take care of that for me. So there's 3 people you can mark, and then they just take them down, which is great. There are a lot of long cutscenes, so that's why I'm fast forwarding in the game, which is annoying, but whatever. So it's very rewarding to go to a base and like send up the drone and mark people, and then have your teammates take them out while you're taking out people, and have them not tell where you are. You know what I mean? Like if you can get good enough to another cutscene, come on. Yeah. Show me some gameplay, goddammit.
Yeah, you're not convincing me, Duke, at this point.
I know. Because I'm trying to find some good gameplay where you're actually shooting bad guys. But that's the problem, too, is that, the firefighting, if you do it right, it doesn't take a lot of time because you're just dipping in and bop, bop, bop. And then popping out. So whatever, it is what it is. But it is a lot of fun to take enemies down without them seeing you. And when they call in the reinforcements, it's hectic. Like, it switches from orange to red on the map, and you start, especially they have these like drones that are not just flying around, little bird-like things. They have these car drones that will fuck you up. And they're hard to take down with just an assault rifle. So you have to use your missiles and grenades. And basically, whenever I see one of those car drones, I'm like, hey, teammates, go get that thing. And I'm like, I'm going to be over here hiding, and you can take it down for me. There's one of them on the screen right now. Ugh, they're pretty hardcore. So anyway, a couple things that I've noticed about it. You sometimes get these like intel pictures, and it's basically like in Skyrim or Red Dead, you get a little treasure map, and it's like, okay, let me go find out where this is. And I found one, and I go looking for it, and it's a picture of a gravestone, and I was like, okay, so I go to the house where the gravestones are, because it tells you like generally where it is. So I'm looking at all the gravestones, and I'm like, I'm not finding anything. I thought there would be a little indicator that comes up like dig up this grave or whatever it is, and it doesn't. And eventually, I go to the house, and there's this glowing crate in the house, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll loot this crate, and then I'll find out what I was supposed to do to get the gravestone prize or the treasure. I look it up online, and it's like, past these tombstones, there's a box in the house. And I'm like, motherfucker, the glowing crate? I didn't need the picture to tell me to look in the glowing crate. I think I figured that out for myself. So that was a pretty annoying.
Yeah, but you have to get to the glowing crate though. To be fair.
But there are glowing crates everywhere. So I don't know.
Was it a special glowing crate? Did you get special stuff?
No, you get 1,000 skell creds, which is like stuff you use to buy a different gun. But you are always finding guns, so there's really no. The only thing the guns are good for is like paint for your
shooting
guns.
Stuff.
Well, I mean, the guns are fine, but to buy stuff, you can buy like, skins for your guns and like different shirts and whatnot. So like those are the only things that are useful. Speaking of customizing the way you look, you start off with this big vest and a backpack, and I was like, those are realistic, but I don't want to look cool, man. I don't want to have all that stuff on me. So I figured out how to, adjust the appearance of all that stuff. But there's no cool sunglasses in this game. I was like, really? No cool sunglasses? What are you doing to me here, people?
So what do you got? What do you consider to be cool sunglasses? Like aviators?
Well, they have aviators, but they look stupid. And I was like, those aren't cool looking aviators. Those are ugly aviators. And they look like real big, glasses that old people might wear or whatever. And then there's a lot of these wraparound dealies with the sport
like
goggles type things.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I want some cool sunglasses. Now there are some that are like,
would you consider cool?
I don't know. You know them when you see them. Yeah, something like that. But there are some like circular ones.
Yeah, Wayfarers.
Yeah, maybe. But the
like
circular ones,
glasses.
Whatever. The circular ones are like 10,000 skell creds, and I have like 3,000 on a good day. And I'm like, damn, I gotta save a lot of money for those cool sunglasses.
Yeah, but are they cool though? When you get them though, will you not be like, oh, they're not as cool as I thought?
No, well, of course I'm gonna think that because it won't ever be worth the wait. The other thing about this game that's really frustrating is the fact that the voice acting is really not good. So at one point, for instance, I wrote this down. There, you come up to someone and you're like, what happened? Where were you? And he goes, they were keeping us at some lab in the South. And I'm like, really? That's the best you could do on that line read? And you're editing it and go, okay, let's try that again a little more fluidly, please. So
yeah, less wooden.
Man. And then the bad people, like you have the constant flashbacks to like things they've done, and like they wiped out my whole village, and you see them coming through there's this flashback to when they killed the village, and just randomly for no reason, just like shoot your mother, cut your kid's head off, and it's like, oh, I hate these bad guys. They're so bad. But why are they so evil? Who knows? Just bad.
They're just evil for evil's sake.
Yeah, that's right, man. Which is not good character design, man. Hannibal Lecter is one of the best villains ever created because you kind of like him. But whatever. That's not the case in a lot of these games.
I'm not sure whether you should be liking Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, tell me you don't like Hannibal Lecter.
I'll be honest with you. I prefer the TV series Hannibal.
Well, I've never seen that, but I know that they couldn't have had a TV series if he hadn't been a likable character.
True, but he has like a recipe cards of human dishes.
Of course,
he's he's
a cannibal. And there's no confusion about that from the beginning of Silence of the Lambs.
It's is it not Lance Hendrickson? What's he called? The actor who plays him in the TV show.
Tobey Maguire.
What's his name?
Is it
Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah, Thingy Mickelson.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen. He is
Jack Nicholson, right?
Mads Mikkelsen. He is exactly how you'd. I think he would be exactly how I'd imagine Hannibal Lecter to be, because he's very well spoken, dresses like very designer clothes, suits all the time.
Yeah,
very suave.
Sounds like you kind of like this character.
I do. He's kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree. That's the thing about Hannibal. He's a likable guy. Well, yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me that Hannibal the cannibal eats people. That's a given.
But what he does in the TV show, he invites people around for dinner parties and serves people to them as well, so they don't even know.
That's in Red Dragon, dude.
Yeah, he is bad.
Yes, I agree. We all agree Hannibal Lecter's a bad dude. All right, back to Breakpoint.
Cool. He's still kind of cool.
He's very cool.
To say.
Right. That's the mark of a good villain. These games, it's like, oh, they're just so evil. Game of Thrones kind of, but evil is just evil. Anyway, so there was a bug that I hit. At one point, you had to go find this person and interrogate him. So I found him after fighting through his whole base. And then it's like, I'm going to interrogate him. And you push the button to interrogate, but nothing happens. There's some glitch where when he fell, because you have to shoot him, but you can't kill him, right? So you have to wound him, and then he falls down, and then you pick him up and interrogate him. But I couldn't pick him up. No matter what I did, I was like, ah! So I had to start the mission all over again. And I was like, damn, I'm going to have to fight through the whole base again. But the game does this very nice thing where, kind of like the inverse of Elden Ring, you wipe out the base. Most of the base is still wiped out. So I was like, oh, thank God. I didn't have to fight through the whole base again. So I got there. But then I grab him and I'm interrogating him. Where's the whatever it is you're looking for? Tell me where the thing is. And he goes, it's on the other side of the base. And I'm like, God damn it. And he's like, and I'm like, okay, tell me the code to get in. He's like, I'm never telling you. And he's like, well, I can use your eye to scan it. And he's like, oh, nice. Okay. But I was like, I just cut his head off and shake it. No, you have to drag the guy, and you can only use your pistol while you're dragging him. And of course, reinforcements come in. So I have to I can throw him down and then fight the enemy and pick him back up again. But I don't have time for that. So instead, the whole way, I'm just dragging him by the neck and shooting people with a pistol. And meanwhile, I'm telling my teammates, take care of these guys, would you please?
Is he? Can I ask? Is he dead at this point?
No, he was still alive. Yeah, because you can't kill him. I mean, if you kill him, the mission ends. Yeah. You should be able to just cut his eye out.
You should just cut his head off, man. That'd be fine.
That's what I said. No.
I know. I don't know why you can't just do some sort of sadistic, sociopathic thing in a game. Why not?
I'll bet when they make the Hannibal Lecter game, you'll be able to do that.
Yeah, you'll be able to eat someone's liver with a nice Chianti and some fava beans.
You get betrayed at the start of the game. Your old buddy Walker turns out to be the evilest of the evil people. Right. And then there's all these flashbacks to show you how you used to be buds, and then he got turned into the bad
now he's
way.
Evil.
He started breaking bad, man. And then I finally tracked him.
It's because of cash.
You track him down. No, it's not. It's because the army is protecting bad people, and you're not actually doing anything.
It's not because it's not cash related.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't make sense.
But the thing is, you finally get up to, and he's like level such and such, and you have to keep getting your gear up. So your gear, you have this gear average. So if you have a gun that, your main gun is like level 50, and you find another one that's 52, then your other gear, depending on what numbers it is, it gets leveled out to 51 or whatever, right? So you're constantly getting new gear, and your gear total gets edging up.
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to go after a level 100 boss when you're only level 50 with your gear. You know what I mean? So, and I said this once upon a time, it's frustrating to have a gun that has, recoil and handling that is worse than the gun you currently have, but it has a higher gear score, So really the gear score is the only thing that really matters because, okay, if you're trying to choose between 2 assault rifles that are the same gear level, yes, you want the one with the better handling. But for all intents and purposes, it's just a matter of which one has the bigger number next to it. So, whatever. But so when you finally get to this dude Walker, man, that boss fight is a marfar because he's got these drones.
So is that the end of the game, boss?
No. Well, you might think so, but no. It's just the start of the intrigue. I'm sure we're going to find out because the dude who built this island, his name is Skell, and I have the whole game, like you keep fighting people and they go, before you kill them at the very last minute, they go, you don't know who you're working for. And it's like, I bet we'll find out. I bet he betrays you. Because in Wildlands, it was this whole thing of like, you get the rebels on your side and you're building up this rebel army to go after this drug dealer dude. And then in the last mission, it's like, the rebels have betrayed us. Now everyone's fighting and trying to kill us. And you have to go find the final boss. I'm sure it's going to be something in this game where it's like, Skell betrayed us. He's actually an evil person and he took advantage of us and blah, blah, blah. But back to this Walker boss fight. He's got these drones around him. So they're healing him apparently or giving him some force field. So normally, like I said, firefights, they only go on for a few seconds. Especially if you can get headshots, like, and like they're down. If nobody sees the body, you're good. You keep it moving. Well, they can't do that for a boss fight. So the question then becomes like, how important are boss fights in a game like this? But whatever. So I'm trying to kill it, and he's got amazing accuracy, and he's got these wolves. His team is the wolves, and they just keep showing up. So you take them down, and they can lay you out pretty quick. So I kept dying, and it felt like an Elden Ring type of thing. I was like, God damn it! So I look up.
That game.
Yeah. So I look up. I was like trying to get away from games like that. So I looked up and saw like, okay, how do you beat Walker? And it's like, you got to take down his drones. And I'm like, I know that, duh. But apparently I just wasn't aiming very well at the drones. So when I was like, okay, because I thought, maybe there's some part of the room you got to go to and flip a switch to depower his drones or something like that. But no.
You just got to shoot him.
You got to shoot him. And eventually I did. And it was one of those things where it's like, yes, I did it. I'm like dancing around like, yeah. And it doesn't matter. There's no significance to the world, but it felt really good.
And
the last thing I'll say,
that's why you like them.
Well, the good games do, I guess. But I feel so silly when I have that feeling of like, I did it. Because if I go in on Monday tomorrow to my class and be like, I beat one of the bosses on Ghost Recon Breakpoint. First of all, most of the students will go, what's that? And I'll be like, oh.
No, they won't. They'll all be gamers. They'll know what it is.
Yeah, but they're still laughing at me for not playing Elden Ring because they're like, sounds like a skill issue. You just suck at games, Mr. P. It's like,
no, it's because you didn't install the easy mod like I told you.
There's that too. Anyway, so the last thing I'll say about Breakpoint is at one point, like I said, his team is the wolves and everything is the wolves. Watch out, there's wolves ahead and wolves and wolves. And then you kill him and then you're going to find out what his plan was because, of course, it can't just end with him dying. So it's like, let's go find out what his plan was. And you track down one of the people that he had, he was originally trying to kill and whatever. And he's like, you need to find out what he had planned at his HQ. He stayed in this place. He called it the Shark Den. Why is it called the Shark Den? I thought he was the wolves. I thought everything was based on wolves. Why is it suddenly sharks now? Would you pick an animal to have a metaphor around, please? Fucking ridiculous. But it's a fun game. The mechanics are good. I'm having a good time with it. So, that's Breakpoint, baby.
Very good.
Yeah.
I'm going to do... I haven't written these down, but...
Ooh, going rogue.
But our friend from
Wait a minute.
Newcastle came...
Never mind. I thought it was time for Chris.
Tonight.
You go ahead.
From Newcastle came tonight with her 6-year-old daughter who wanted to play video games because they didn't have they've no consoles at home, so
you put on Elden Ring and said, "Here, let me disable the easy mode."
I said,
this.
"Yeah, I went try this." No, I didn't. So what you want to play is Shadow Warrior 3 because that game is good.
That's great for kids.
And you'll love all the blood and gore. Our kids love that stuff. No, so the first game, she's never played a video game before, can I just say?
Oh.
So gave her the controller and put on Minecraft because I'm like, all the kids love Minecraft, don't they?
Yeah.
All of them.
All not
So
the
I put it
stupid
in-
kids.
Well, yeah, I put it in creative mode. I put it on easy.
Yeah.
Gave her the controller. Showed her how to, bash something. Showed her how to build something. And guess what she did? What do you think
She
she
built
did?
an enormous replica of Buckingham Palace.
Do you know, that would have been cool. But that's not what happened.
She had no idea how to use the controller to the point where it was just impossible to do anything.
No, well, kind of, but no. She was pointing downwards, obviously, because that's the first thing you do the first
She
time
fell
you get
into
a controller
lava.
and can't figure out.
Spinning in circles,
No.
looking at the
Well,
sky.
you'd think that, but in creative mode, that doesn't happen.
Oh.
So she started burrowing straight down because, she was like, oh, this is cool. I can just dig a big hole straight down, and kept on going under the sea. She was in the sea at this point, by the way.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. And then came to a cave, and then she messed out. So I showed her how to make a torch. Well, you don't have to make one. You just have them, don't you? So I put some torches. I'm like, you need to put some torches up, then you can see because it's pitch black down here. And she's like,
I bet kids love playing games when Stu's around. Put some torches down, you motherfucker.
Put some bloody goddamn torches up, you mental.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Dark.
Piece of
Anyway.
Upwards.
So I gave her back the controller.
You
and
suck.
guess
Give me
what
the
she
controller.
did? Guess what she did?
She broke up all the torches.
No, she just pointed down and started digging again. So she did this for ages, right? Dig. It was like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Dig.
Alright, he's Mountain Dew.
All day through.
No, it's like on The
but yeah.
Simpsons. Here, wait, I'll get it. Where's The Simpsons?
Dig upwards.
moment? Oh, here we go. Hang on. Wait. Sorry. Hang on. Okay.
Yeah, we're waiting. This
What are
is
you doing?
good time.
Digging. Why? Make a hole. A hole for what? More digging.
That is basically what she was doing.
Yeah.
So she dig. Her dad obviously isn't a gamer, so had no idea what she was doing.
Well, you didn't have any idea what she was doing either.
Well, I was like, why are you doing that? But she seemed to be having fun.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And
That's what it's about.
eventually,
Who cares?
she fell out of the bottom of the world.
Oh,
So
my
in-
goodness.
In creative mode,
Right.
there's no lava. You
You're
just
supposed to
end
be
up in this
creating,
void,
not digging. Yeah, you go up.
in
not
this
down.
void where there is nothing. And
You
once
should
you're
have
in
given
the
her
void-
you should have given her a survival world on easy where she couldn't
No,
get killed, but
I
then she
should've
just dig all day.
But what was weird was there was no way to get back up. So it was like, do you remember The Cube, the film The Cube?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It was kind of like that because it was like the underside, and you could see all the obviously the pixels, all the blocks, and there was just one black one where she'd fallen out of. But there was no way you couldn't build anything. That you were just stuck in one spot. That was it. You could move. You could move, but you could only spin round in a circle on the spot, and you couldn't build anything. There was nowhere to build on, and it was just all blue. It was the weirdest thing. So that's
seems
what's
like seems complicated. How old were they? Sorry.
6.
Six. Okay, yeah. So there's a bit more control. Yeah. I mean, I've been battling with, obviously been trying to get Annie to play games since she could move.
I know, but
yeah,
it's
she
the
can
problem
but
is
it's hard.
control.
We were just trying to play what was the Sackboy one, the most recent PS5 Sackboy game.
Yeah.
And like she's starting to get used to the controllers now. We've got a couple of the Paw Patrol games as well, and even those are just like 2D effectively, side to side jumping and stuff.
Yeah.
And
But
after a
the
while,
trouble
she
is-
gets to grips with it, but like the combinations and swapping between buttons becomes tricky.
But controllers are too big for the hands. It's too big for her hands.
Yeah.
She was just like couldn't grip it properly.
Having to press the R2
So-
trigger for a 4-year-old is like what?
But I love the
know.
idea of trying to
So-
tell her, like, you hold down left bumper and the X button, and then you hit
No,
the
so
right
was
bumper.
right.
What
So I
the
was
fuck
like,
is
right.
wrong with me?
I thought, what game?
I'd be
so I
great
thought,
with kids.
That's definitely out.
Yeah.
So what game can we play where it's a bit simpler? I know. Power Wash Simulator. Why not? You just got to point and squirt. How can it go
Well, easy
wrong?
for you, yeah, but
I know. So I loaded that up for her. I'm like, do you like cleaning stuff? Because here goes. You can
Do you
have
like
a
boring,
clean.
monotonous tasks in real life? Well, I got a treat for you.
Exactly. So I gave her the controller, right? And she did quite like it for a bit, but then started to try to clean the sky. And I'm like, you can't, there's nothing to clean in the sky. And she's
what
like, yeah,
you can't do.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
And then she was just like making
With the new DLC, you
patterns.
can. Sky Cleaner.
Exactly. She was just making patterns in the dirt. I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. And then she went, I think it looked better when it was dirty.
I like this kid. They got
I
a
know.
good head on their
So I
shoulders.
was like, and she's like, I'm bored now. So I was like, right.
That's the part I
okay.
can't stand, man. I had some kid coming by doing that. I'm like,
Bored.
bored? I
Bored.
just gave you like
I
10
said, "What-
games to choose from. You're bored.
How can
Fuck
you not get
bored."
excited with cleaning?
I'll tell you what worked with Anya on that note is the most successful game I've had with Anya so far was remember iToy on the PS2? And you'd have a little camera and you're doing all these things. There was the wishy-washy one. So you've got bubbles all over the screen and you just moving your hands and you go, and it's like when I'm cleaning windows playing in the background and you're just jumping around waving your hands and it's cleaning all the windows off. She loves that. Like again, and just like woo. And the Kung Fu one where you got guys coming onto the screen, you got to go
Parent of the Year. There you go.
Yeah, and then, like ancient games, like, but it still works really well.
So well, that's because a lot of kids want something that's simple, and games over time just get more and more complicated. So.
That's true.
I was like, so what shall we try next? So that was out. So she didn't like Power Wash Simulator and said things look better dirty. So that didn't work. So I was like, right, what else can we play? What about Unravel? Because that's kind of, side-scrolling, 2D, not too complicated. She doesn't have to look up or down, sorted. So I loaded that up. And then you kind of realize how complex games are for someone of 6 years old.
Hey everybody, I'm Blitz.
Whoops, sorry.
There you go. That made total sense. So yeah, you then realize how, and she started to get it a little bit, but then it's sort of trying to run, jump, and grapple all at the same time, and you realize that
combinations.
Combinations of stuff are complicated for small kids.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
I wonder if she would do all right with Donkey Kong or like Pac-Man.
And when I first started the game up, there's like not a lengthy, maybe about 2 or 3 minute cutscene at the beginning with the little old lady.
Yeah.
And she's like, "This isn't a game. I'm watching it."
That's right.
Preach,
kid. No, tell him. That's right. No, it's not. There's a difference between a movie and a video game. And a movie is not a video game. Wait till you try her story, kids. Sit down and watch this.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Have a go with that. But she was like, "This isn't a game." I'm like, "No, it really is a game." "No, it's not." I was like, "No, it is, honestly." And then eventually when
eventually it will be a game. You just got to wait.
And I move the thumbstick and he moves you like, "Oh, give it me." So she took the controller and she was kind of engaged for about 5 minutes.
Hey.
And then when it started getting complicated, she's just like, bored now.
Yeah.
So I came to the conclusion that some kids do, but I just don't think she just didn't like games.
Well, she didn't like the ones you gave her.
I think she liked the idea of games.
Wow.
But not necessarily
You've blown
games.
it, Stu. You've blown it for hoping.
Yeah, really. Now she's going to be, no, games are boring. I never want to go near a video game.
Don't give me your video games.
Yeah.
And I tried Townscaper as well, because you can't get more simple than that.
Yeah, you can. That game is abstract, working with the idea of a town. And for a kid, they're going to be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, she got bored of that very quickly as well.
I'm not surprised.
Sonic the
Most
Hedgehog.
people would. Yeah.
Just jump.
Well, you see, you
Run
think
along
that,
and
but
jump.
no, honestly, I think the biggest issue...
No, but here's the thing, Stu. Sonic and Mario appealed to kids back in the day, in part because there were shiny things, there were rewards. You hop on a Poopa Trooper, and it's like, ba-ding! And what does Townscaper have? Ooh, there's a town coming into creation now. Unravel doesn't have any of those ding-dong, like...
No,
whoop, whoop.
no, you're wrong. To be fair, Townscaper does a lot of like... every time
You're
you put a new block.
I can't imagine why a
noises
4-year-old didn't get really interested in Townscaper. It's right, a 6-year-old. They would. They must be stupid.
No, what I have
Civilization 6. It's like it's not as complicated as Civilization.
Yeah, there's all sorts of fun sounds in that. I'm declaring war on you.
Simplistic. That's what I went for.
Yeah, but simplistic and fun for kids aren't always the same things. So.
No, you're not wrong.
Anyway.
So I gave up in the end, and then she
sounds
went
like
home.
She's a stupid kid, and yeah, stupid kids aren't into games.
Yeah, stupid she was.
Yeah.
She had no idea what she was supposed to be doing with any of this stuff, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
She liked to be fair, she liked the look of Unravel. She was chasing butterflies for a bit.
See, that's why I need to give her Skyrim, man. She'd get into that. Ooh,
yeah, dragons.
Well, butterflies. Yeah. You can go catch butterflies.
Well, there's butterflies as well.
And there's even butterflies in jars. Just
there
hand her the
is,
controller and
true.
go find the butterfly in the jar, kid. And she'll 30 hours later, say, I don't know where it is.
And then we got to a bit and I couldn't remember what to do. And she went, "You're not very good at games."
What?
And I was like, "Oh my God."
How about you shut your mouth, kid?
She's 6. You're griefing me. You're trolling me. And you're a 6-year-old.
That's the funnest game of all, is to make fun of people for not being good at games.
I know. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, it's fine. I said, I've not played it for a while. I've got to try and remember. Kids, I tell you.
You really suck.
Well, here's what you should have said to her.
You think I care what you think?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should have done.
Yeah.
I was glad when she gone. I've been sort of completely like, I don't know. I just felt like I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. Anymore.
I mean, I understand that. You want the kid to have fun with what you give them. So
tried.
There's part of you that, gets hurt when they don't, but whatever. All right, Chris, you're back. What's up next? Something else you played?
You kind of maybe want to talk about Wildlands. You kind of make me want to talk about well, no, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm talking about it's a big game changer for me. I got a new handheld. I've always been a big fan of handhelds, and as you know, so you probably know, I'm a big fan of retro as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know about these. Well, there's hundreds of them out these days. There's a company called Anbernic that make a lot of these retro gaming handhelds. And I got myself one. So this thing will play anything up to like.
So are these the ones that take the original cartridges?
No. This is. I've basically got an SD card with all of the games for every system, all from Atari, although I can't stand Atari games, all the way through to Dreamcast and PS1.
Okay.
So I'll show you a little picture so you can see what
it's
I'm
slightly
vaguely talking about.
Cool.
So it's a little handheld.
An emulator.
It's an emulator thing. It's got a 256 gig card in it, and it can play all those games instantly. And so, but it's also you can also play ports on it, so you can install like Shovel Knight, that new Turtles game that came out, the new side-scrolling Turtles game that you can load that onto it. Sonic Mania. So
what is this device called?
It's an Anbernic. Mine's an RG353M.
353M.
Yeah, mine's the blue one, the sweet ocean blue one.
Okay.
And the quality of the controls and everything is really good. You can install it's a bit of a hassle, but it's straightforward if you know what you're doing. You can install another operating system, which is fairly easy to do, and it all works pretty much straight out the box. You just have to throw the ROMs on there if you have those sat on a hard disk for whatever reason. And then you can play whatever you want and whenever you want, and it plays like a Switch. You can set it into rest mode and switch it back on again and carry on playing.
Cool.
It plays everything just really well, and I'm a massive retro fan, so especially stuff like the Super Nintendo and Mega Drive. Like this, I'm currently playing Chrono Trigger on it, and I'm about 20 hours in on that, and I find it perfect because I always like to be playing some sort of retro game at any given time. And Chrono Trigger, stuff like that, Secret of Mana, Zelda, stuff like that, and you just jump back into it. And like if I want to chill out, I'll play a bit of that. It boots up quick, it plays quick, it plays flawlessly. It's got like save anywhere, just whenever you want, hit the save button, boom, done. And also this one's got a HDMI out, so you can just plug it straight into the TV. So nice. I can sit and play on the sofa if someone else or in the car or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get home and you're I fancy playing Chrono Trigger on the TV. So I've just got to plug HDMI straight in, and then it's on the TV, and you carry on playing on the TV.
Nice.
And so it's also dual boot. It's got Android. So if you switch it on and load it into the Android system, you can play. It can't play like most modern games, but you could play a lot of good Android games on there, and you'll have physical controls. So there'll be certain ones like the Rayman Run games I used to love. You can just play those, and you've got the jump button then, rather than having to swipe. And games that benefit having the physical controls, you've got them right there.
Yeah.
So it works out. It's really good. I mean, I've got a Switch. I said earlier, I've got tons of games on that thing. I could play forever on it and never run out of stuff to do on it.
Yeah.
But I've still, it's never left me this sort of love of retro games and going back and playing games that I loved back then. I played through Mario World again in the last year just because I love it. I played through Zelda 3 because I love it, and the game Chrono Trigger. But there's also things like I've it's part of my hobby is I like going and exploring what other good games were there on the Super Nintendo that I'd never played, and arcade games and things, and all the arcade games you can just play them, and you obviously got free credits, so you just boom just play till you're done. So for me it's just like I've always had a system like that on the go. Like I hacked my PSP and you could play them on that. I've always had like emulators and stuff on the go. But this one is like a really nice machined metal with rubber pads on the back, and the buttons are all really comfortable, and the sticks are the same ones from a Switch, so they're really nice to use. It's just like absolutely perfectly formed, right size, small. You can stick it in your pocket, but it's just really flexible. So yeah, I mean, it's hit that point now where they're not that cheap. I mean, the prices are coming down. You can get these things called a Miu Mini, which you get for like 60 quid, and they do the similar sort of thing. And actually, you know, if that's all you want, then they're pretty perfect. But I think mine was like 130 quid, which isn't cheap.
I mean, considering all it can do, that doesn't sound too bad. Yeah.
No, I mean, it does a lot. You know, I mean, I use it pretty much every day just because it's, you know, even if I am just playing like 20 minutes on Mario or something, just to go, oh yeah, you know. So
cool. Can I just ask, not that we condone piracy, etc. in this show.
Yeah.
But would you just download the games offline and just stick them on the SD card? Is it just the ROMs?
Yeah, I mean, not that I would condone it either, and not that I would know how to do it. But you could just go online and get like every Super Nintendo game ever in one file, download, and then stick it on there. And you put them all in folders, so you've got a folder for each system, and you can pick and choose which systems you want it to show. So, like as I say, all the Atari ones I block off, so I don't have to play with that. But you can just have the ones you want there, and you can just knock yourself out. It doesn't do GameCubes, but it's fine. I've got a GameCube, I've got a Wii U. I can play those games in other ways. But so it just does what it does really well. Like PS1 games, I can sit and play Final Fantasy VII on it, and it's flawless, and it's you just jump in and jump out. It's easy.
Yeah.
Battery life's really good on it. Yeah, so sweet. I just thought I'd mention that instead because it's there's a lot of them around, but if you've ever been interested in retro games, now is the time to do it because they're releasing them every week. They're releasing new models, and it's really hard to keep up as to which one's the best ones. Like, this one can now play PS2, but you've got to spend 200 quid, and it's like, is it worth that? You know, if you want to get something that can play it to PS1, you know, you can get that, it's 60 or 70 quid easily now, and they work really, really well.
Yeah.
So I heartily recommend it if you like that shit.
Cool. Good to know. All right. So it's back to me then, is it? Or is it
back to you, Duke? No,
okay.
It's you, Duke.
Yeah. So I played a game called, so it was Steam Next Fest recently, as we talked about last week. And there's a couple games I didn't get around to talking about, so I will talk about them now. One is called Infection Free Zone. And this is a game, Infection Free Zone. Got to update the screen, you know. So this is made by the makers of 911 Operator and whatever you call it over there, 618, 223. What do you call it?
999 over here.
999. There's another version they have that's like 112 or something. Maybe that's Canada.
Yeah, 112 if you want fuck all to happen.
Right, that's it.
Yeah, that's
anyway, so those games are you're the dispatcher and you'll have a series of calls that are like, oh, armed robbery in progress, and you got to decide whether you want to send the cops, the fire brigade, or the medical, dispatch. So this game is very much like that, except it's zombie apocalypse. So you have these squads that you set up, and you have them exploring buildings near your base and chopping down trees in order to get wood, and then you can use the wood to build stuff, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, it's solid. It's not great. It is streamlined management, which is good because, a lot of these games, you need to kind of micromanage individuals, and this game isn't like that. You have a squad, and you can decide like what kind of armor they have and which guns and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's just form a squad, send them out, and they'll generally be okay. There's hordes of zombies that show up mostly at night, and so you want to get your people back before night falls, or else they'll have to fight their way through the zombie hordes. And then when the zombie hordes attack, if your squads are in the base, you can just shoot out from inside the base. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's good. It's solid. It's satisfying. There was a bug that I had. So for instance, you got all these people, and you basically can tell them, okay, I'm going to assign people to these tasks, but anybody who's unemployed, they'll just do general work. This is true in Banished. It's true in Patron. It's in a lot of these city builder games. But for whatever reason, I had like 21 people unemployed, and I couldn't assign them to go scavenge. So they were just sitting there, useless. And I was like, come on, people. What am I paying you for? Let's go.
Yeah, chop, chop, people.
Yeah, literally, chop, chop. Get that wood.
Yeah, get yourself down to a supermarket and see if you can find some eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, tomatoes.
Yeah,
tomatoes. Oh, tomatoes this week, Chris. I don't know whether you found this where you live.
I've not struggled for tomatoes, no.
We went to 2 supermarkets that had no tomatoes.
Wow.
It was like the apocalypse has happened in Leyland, I'm telling you.
Yeah, Brexitopolis. Yeah,
Brexitopolis.
There it is.
No eggs. No, mind you, the eggs is because of bird flu.
Well, yeah.
So that's absolutely nothing to do with.
That's also why I had to give my sort account details and bank code, so let people into take care of the bird flu.
Take care of the bird flu, people.
Yeah. So infection-free zone, it's interesting. There are these little things that come up from time to time. You have this intercom that goes, this shortwave radio that goes out, and there's this place. It's like we're trying to find the survivors, and there may be an end game to the story, because in 911 dispatch, it's just like endless events happening that you're responsible for. But I think there might be a larger meta story in this game. It's cute, it's fun. It's pretty decent. I don't think I added it to my wish list, but that's because it was kind of buggy, as I said, and I'll wait to see if they iron out some of those things. But generally speaking, not too bad. Infection-free zone, if the demo's still live, and often on next fest they aren't after the event, but you might want to give it a shot, see how you like it.
I noticed Dredges come out. Do you remember that game we played from the last Next Fest?
Dredges?
Dredge,
where you're in the boat?
Yeah, like the HP Lovecraft boat game.
Yeah.
That's come out now, I believe. So if you want to buy it, it's out there now, Duke.
Maybe.
I know how much you loved it.
It was okay.
So that's out now. Right, I've only played one other game this week, which is the same game as I played last week. I haven't played any Elden Ring at all this week, by the way.
Oh my god!
I know. I'm done. No, I don't think I'm done, but I've been distracted as always because I managed to pick up Bayonetta 3 in the sale. I know, yeah.
I thought I thought you were waiting for that to come out, and then you just didn't bother getting it.
I was. Well, there was all that controversy about the voice acting, wasn't there, and all that stuff.
Yes.
So I ended up like postponing it, and then it turned out she was lying, apparently, and there was no problems. She just lied. So I was like, and it was on sale for 29 quid. So I was like, do you know what? It's a bit of a no-brainer, and it's a physical copy as well. Amazon had it sort of reduced by about 20 quid. So I was like, do you know what? I think now's the time to buy. So I bought it. So I finally got it. And I fucking love this game. I don't know why I delayed it so long, really. Because let's be honest, who cares about morals? It's fine. Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
Video games.
Wizard game.
Yeah, video games, man. This game just does so many things right compared to the other two. It is a multiverse game, though, Duke. So there is that, I guess.
Christ. There you go.
But there's no sprint, but you get to just fly fast.
Dude.
Who doesn't want to fly like a butterfly quickly?
I remember seeing that last week, with her butterfly wings.
Butterfly wings, man. But you just skim along the ground really quick. And like I said this week, I just I don't know why more games don't do this. So in Elden Ring, and I talked about this last week, you hit enemies on the ankles, basically. They're these massive in-scale monsters that you have to beat up.
Yeah.
But you're basically just hitting them on the ankles because you can't reach any other parts of them because they're massive. It's true. In this game, right, they give you these like alter ego things that you can summon that are the same size as the massive beasts. And then you fight them with those instead. And you just keep giving you more. So I've got like a spider one now that allowed me to run up the sides of buildings and stuff.
It sounds like Azura's Wrath, which I did actually try on.
Well, kind of, but like that doesn't even do this. So you can just summon these giant creatures that fight on your behalf. Like you can see like a Godzilla type one now that she's using currently. And they all have their own individual moves as well. But then what they also have, so in the like when you're normal Bayonetta, you have to dodge at the right time to go into like witch time, which is a version of bullet time or whatever, so you can inflict more damage and they slow down. When you're fighting with the big massive beasts, you have to do the attacks in order. So it'll be like kick, kick, punch, punch, kick, or whatever. And you've got to try and get it right, and that's how you do your combos. But it's just so bloody good. I've just had the first...
No. I played Bayonetta 2. So I always thought I'd enjoy these games a lot. And I played Bayonetta 2. I got about halfway through before I gave up on it. And it wasn't... It felt like a lot of button mashing to the point. I mean, if you're talking about combos and stuff now, and I know it is quite a lot of combos, kind of like Devil May Cry kind of thing. But
oh yeah,
do you just find like these bosses are just like, you're fighting the same boss for hours, just going bam, 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 bam. And is it relentless on the boss battles?
No, there's a lot of boss battles. I mean, there is that. I mean, it's interesting. It's like even from the very first, like in the first 15 minutes of the game, you're fighting a big boss. I mean, this game just goes like, right, here's something big to fight, and then like, here's something else big to fight. Oh, and here's another big thing to fight. So it kind of just keeps throwing them at you, but I kind of like that. They've also opened it up a bit more, so there's more open areas. Not so much. I mean, it's still fairly linear, but they have given you a little bit more room for exploration.
There's sort of puzzly elements to it.
Yeah.
Or is it just a case of collect these 3 things to open a gate, that sort of bollocks?
No, there's none of that shit. It's just it's just more open areas to explore.
Okay.
So you're not really doing much in the way of puzzles to get to a new area. You're just sort of figuring out the route to get there.
When do you control the big tarantula? Because that looks pretty cool.
That's not very far into the game.
Okay.
So this is basically like being on a mech.
Yes.
So she's sat on top of it, and you're fighting all this.
This person who's playing it sucks, though. They keep falling off the edge of buildings.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Learn how to ride a mech
I've
spider,
got
dude.
past
Come
this
on.
bit, and I didn't do any of that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, he's still going the wrong way, which isn't clever.
Come on.
I know this dude is crap at this game.
Jesus.
But it's so good. It has all these different attacks, and you do this tail whip thing, and you can fire webs. But each of these massive, whatever they are, all has individual attacks. You know, has all a different variation.
Yeah.
And the voice acting is just, honestly, Jennifer Hale. I was just like, oh, I don't know whether I fancy this. I'm so used to it being the other woman.
Yeah.
I've forgotten who the other woman is now, to be honest. I kind of like, she's so sassy. The lines are so cool.
Helena
the put
Taylor.
downs are great. I just love it. It's just so good.
I'm glad it worked out because you've waited for a long time.
I know. And I know, do you go on about all the sex stuff and it's exploitation, but it's kind of not compared to a lot of Japanese stuff.
Well, that's the very low bar, though, for God's sake. That's like saying, compared to a lot of serial killers, Hannibal Lecter only ate a few dozen.
Well, yeah. No, but I know, right? I know you think it's.
I didn't try to bring this up for the record. I'm not trying to get into this right now. Looking at this, there's nothing exploitative about it unless you don't like arachnids being exploited for their murderous capabilities. So it sounds like maybe they walked away from that a little bit in this game.
Well, no, there's still a lot of nakedness and butt shots.
The better you get, like the more wound up she gets, the more clothes come off. Is that how it works?
No.
So I thought that was it. It's like, I'm going to witch time.
No. Let's be clear. Her clothes are off the first 30 seconds of the game. It's her hair that's her suit, right? So there's literally, there's technically no clothes at all, right?
No, she's just a hair.
Okay,
so her hair is
she's naked the whole game.
Although she does seem to
but
wear
it's not,
like
objectification of women.
Dress.
Yeah. Because she's wearing a massive pube dress.
To be fair, right, some of the costumes she does wear with her hair are amazingly detailed.
Well, yeah, Japanese game developers are really good at coming up with naked people, hair, clothing.
Well, she's not naked. She very rarely is naked.
Well, I mean, her hair that's not really clothing.
It looks like a fucking Ewok, that's why.
She's kind of, I'll be honest, she's kind of naked on top of the spider.
Right.
Well, only a little bit. But it's tiny, so you can't really see anything because it's so small.
Right.
Anyway. But it's just great.
Okay.
I'm just
glad you're having
it.
fun with it. I really am.
The combos are amazing. The gameplay's brilliant. Okay. The voice acting's awesome.
Okay.
The dialogue is really good. It's really impressive. And the story so far is kind of cool because Bayonetta at the beginning, spoilers for the beginning of the story, has been killed in a multiverse.
Oh my God.
She's been deaded, destroyed, blown up.
So it's back to the future then. She has to go back.
Yeah, so you're in a different version of the same world trying to stop that from happening.
That's the trouble with multiverse stuff, is like the consequences just seem to go out the window. Let's just make shit up.
Yeah,
He's got a heartbreaking decision to make about whether his best friend lives or dies.
And his best friend is himself.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's very good. I mean, it's just an excuse to beat lots of massive enemies up.
Yes, sure.
Okay,
well, it sounds like fun. I'm glad you're having a good time.
I might like it.
I think you would. I think you would like this.
Yeah.
Do you like Devil May Cry? Now he's Spider-Man.
Now it's like
Spider-Man, but a real spider.
There you go.
Do you like Devil May Cry?
I do love Devil May Cry, yeah. I've not played the 5th one, actually. But
I love that. I absolutely loved it. But I like these types. These are my wheelhouse. You know, when it comes to anything other than an RPG, This is kind of it, really, or story-driven games, shall I say? But these, I just love them. I just love the combat. It's so much fun, and it's so satisfying. You know, when you bring down a massive boss, it's just like, yes, I just beat the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, like me and Walker on
exactly.
There's always millions of combos in these games that you can learn, and I end up just mashing the same buttons.
Yeah, you just do like BBB, AAA, BBB, A.
I ain't got time to learn.
Yeah,
she's
kind of nearly naked in this bit, by the way. Just saying.
Yes, I see that.
Anyway, it's great.
Okay.
Just saying.
Glad you like
Good
it,
stuff.
Chris.
She's empowered.
Yes. Anything else, Chris?
I don't know. Loads of. Well, I quickly mentioned the VR. As I say, I've been buying loads of games, but again, not been playing that much.
Oh, I'm terrible. I do that all the time.
Yeah, so like you said before, Stu, those 30% off like vouchers are a killer. But I'm still really enjoying Pistol Whip. That's really good for a bit of energy, like a bit of exercise. Did you get Pistol Whip?
I did.
Yeah. So that's really good. Like I've enjoyed taking the VR out, especially last year. We took it camping. We went with like a load of friends camping and like just set it up. Like we had around a fire pit at night, and like we took turns, like just set up a little lantern in the middle of the field. So people out there playing Beat Saber and stuff. Like none of them had played on one before, and like,
that's
man,
brilliant.
this is the best thing ever. Just in a pitch black field in the middle of nowhere, just playing like
that is awesome.
Pistol Whip and Beat Saber.
I'm gonna win to pistol whip this guy all night.
Pistol whip.
Pistol.
I say, did the tracking work well?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I just have one lantern down and it works fine.
Wow, that's impressive.
So that's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm still enjoying Beat Saber. I'm still not very good at it. I enjoy it a lot, and I tend to get fitter. So I keep telling myself I must remember to do it, especially when I'm working from home. Like I go out for a 5-minute break. If I'm getting cold feet because I'm sat at my desk typing in the freezing cold house.
Sorry.
Shoot some shit.
Jesus Christ.
Slash some shit.
I bet you've not missed any of this, have you, Chris? You know, all these sound effects while you're trying to talk. Who knew?
Excuse me.
That was an accident because I had the YouTube sound on.
Yeah.
You want to handle all this streaming and recording?
All right, I'm just checking. I've not played, obviously, Beat Saber for a while. I got to the point where I was sort of expert level.
I can do expert on some games, some songs, but not on others. I mean, it depends. It really does depend who's made them as well, because I'm using all these ones that people have made. Like those Pendulum ones, like the new Pendulum song is really good on it, and I love it. Like I will sit there. I mean, I will fail that like 10 times in a row until my wrists ache, and then I go to bed. But I can do it on hard. It's fine. I lower it down. But I love just having a couple of beers and doing a couple of Beat Saber songs, and it's fun.
Well, it's one of those games I probably can't play anymore, you know, due to condition, etc., which is a bit annoying, really.
That is a bit shit. But I mean, Tetris. You should, if you've got Tetris. Effect.
Yeah, I can play Tetris. I can obviously still play Walkabout, mini golf, poker.
Yeah. Oh, I've been playing Walkabout mini golf as well. That's really good.
Have you got the mist level?
I have. I haven't played that one yet. I bought it, but I haven't played it. I got the Labyrinth one and a couple of other extras ones that have come through. But yeah, that's another one. Yeah, the movie.
So good.
Oh, dude.
So you're just walking up to the characters and like, oh wow, that's cool. So yeah, it is really cool.
It's for me. I think Walkabout mini golf and the table tennis one, 11 table tennis.
I didn't get that, but I took it into work for a week. We had like for our entire company, we had like a pedometer challenge where we were in teams and we would like to see how many people get the most number of steps across the whatever. And my guys had like the wrist mounted things. So I was like, tell you how we can cheat on this shit. Let's play some Beat Saber. So I just bought my VR. So like on lunch breaks, people would just go up and just do like, I don't know, some Green Day or whatever, and just get their steps up. And like, nice. I just, is any work getting done in my office this week? Or is everyone just up playing Beat Saber? And they just, he's up playing golf, having a round of golf upstairs rather than doing his work. But
there you go.
It's fine. It was nice. It's good.
It's so good in it.
Yeah.
I think Walkabout, like I was just going to say, Walkabout mini golf, I think is the best representation of something in real life.
Yeah, it is.
Because
it's really
it just
relaxing.
works.
I mean, it's absolutely perfect. The only downside of it is the headset being so heavy on your head, and you can't play it for extended periods because your neck starts to hurt. But it for a couple of a round, of an evening is fun.
It is. I mean, when we had the last poker stroke mini golf night, it was really good fun. And we played mini
I
golf.
would be up for that. I'll be up for that. Mine, as I said, I got locked out of Meta Quest, and I couldn't. It took me about 3 months to get logged back in again. I was in like one of those never-ending loops of not being able to do shit.
Never any loop.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you getting stuck. But we've not played poker for a while. We need to arrange another poker night. They were a lot of fun in lockdown.
Yeah, I'd be definitely up for that. It was always fun.
Well, yeah, you can't beat a bit of VR shit, Duke. I know you've never really tried it, but
never really tried it. Don't plan
to. We play it, and then we play it maybe once every 3 weeks or something.
Yeah.
So is it worth 300 quid? Not. I don't know. I think for the benefit.
Oh, it's 400 now. 400 pounds now.
For the same shit. I know it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. Inflation, man.
Yeah. Man.
What are you gonna do? 12%.
All right, so. I got another game to talk about if no one else does. This was the one other one on Next Fest, which was called I Am Future. And I Am Future is a crafting game, which Stu just loves crafting games.
I love crafting.
Yeah, love a good crafting.
Yeah,
so
stick it up your ass.
Right. The idea here is that you are in this cryogenic pod, and then it opened up, and you're on a skyscraper roof, and there's all these other skyscrapers nearby that are connected with these weird bridges and stuff, and you need to break down the materials, wood, metal, whatever, and build up stuff. Yeah, it's cute. It works pretty well. It's fairly intuitive. There are, lots of materials for you to be breaking down and then new things to build up. So that's cool. The humor is kind of meh. It's trying to be kind of, Aperture Science-ish. There's a refrigerator that talks to you. And, a lot of the jokes are pretty obvious and not that funny, but whatever. The storage is a pain, because you only have so much you can carry, and it's not clear right away that you can put stuff in the fridge. I guess I should have figured that out, but whatever. I got like half an hour in, I'm like, oh, you can put things in the fridge. Well, that's easy. Because I have been just dumping them on the ground, but whatever. Unfortunately, there's so many different types of things for you to be keeping track of, so that, eventually you need to build, this matrix. They call it a matrix, which is basically a bunch of microchips and tech stuff and cable, and, you need to take apart other tech things in order to put together this tech thing. And it just got kind of complicated. And I was like, I'm not really interested in trying to keep track of all this. So it's not a bad game by any stretch. It just, I don't know. It didn't feel fun so much as it did feel complex. And I don't know. Other people might have fun with it. It's fairly well done, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of games like this that are like, hey, what if people like crafting, people like survival, and once upon a time, any game that had those descriptors in it, I would be like, yes, I am in. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna see. Now, when I go to Next Fest, that's like half the games, and I'm like, what makes this different? What makes it fun?
I think there's a struggle for people to come up with original ideas these days, especially in gaming.
Oh, sure.
And it is difficult.
It does remind me. I've been playing that Disney Dreamlit Valley, which is a similar sort of thing. Which is I got it because I was trying to get Anya into gaming, and it's something that she can do with
Disney.
me. Yeah, it's Disney. It's lots of stuff. It's one of these crafting games. You start out with a magical pickaxe or whatever, and you go around mining shit, and you collect all this stuff, and you go to Scrooge McDuck, and you sell it, and you buy stuff for your house, and then you unlock different realms. Okay, I want to unlock. I need to collect all this specific stuff so I can unlock the Frozen realm. And she's like, I just want to go and see that Elsa out of Frozen. Well, I can't do that yet. I'm gonna have to spend 3 hours.
Back in a week, and I'll have it sorted.
She's like, I want to go there. Well, you do it while I'm in bed. I'm like, I'm going to have to sit up for 3 hours whilst you're in bed mining shit. And I don't want to, just so that you can go and see Elsa. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, right.
So, you learn how to do it yourself.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And
you can do the grinding.
Right. And a lot of these people were, they started making these games 2 years ago when Stardew Valley hit. And they're like, I'll do it slightly different this way. I'll do it slightly different that way. But in the meantime, there's a dozen other games that have come out since then that are doing the same thing. And there's a glut right now in the same way there was with, Battle Royale games for a while. So, whatever. I don't fault them for trying. I just, it's fine. It's just not remarkable, and it's really not all that fun. So I'd pass on I Am Future, but if you're really into the survival crafting type games, you might want to give it a shot.
It doesn't. It's definitely not my kind of thing.
Well, no.
So,
all right,
is that it? Are we
yeah.
done? No,
I'm done. Chris, anything else you want to talk about with games?
Fuck tons, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Like, no, nothing. It's fine. Just move on. I've got 4 years worth of games. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. That was 2022. Let's go back to 2021. Yeah.
Well,
all right. So, do we got news?
No, there's no news. There's nothing of interest.
Well,
nothing.
all right. That's
we
the whole
have
show.
got an email. No, we've got an email. Email.
Oh, sweet. We got an email. Yay.
Here we are.
All right.
Whoa, that ruled.
So it's of course from Nigel Strut.
Yay, Nigel. Okay, so Chris doesn't know about this. Chris, here's the thing: Stu hates space, and he thinks that we ought to burn down NASA. And Nigel is trying to convince Stu that NASA and space exploration is a good thing.
That's not quite how it is.
That's exactly what it is.
So what it actually is I made a quote. I said that there's no material benefit to exploring space.
Yeah.
So that was basically the quote. So it costs a lot of money, but there's no material benefit to Earth of finding out about a galaxy that's 20,000 light years away. Does that make sense? So that does
make sense.
That was my quote.
Okay.
It costs a lot of money, no material benefit. It's a lot of money for nothing.
I agree with you in a lot of ways, but I think it's still worthwhile. As a scientist, I want to see us pushing.
Because you want to get moon rocks, is why you have a personal interest in this.
It's
like,
just
look up. I want all the shit off those amazing meteorites.
It's just for
get better cell phones.
Well, it's funny you should say that.
Okay.
Because this is preposterous. So he gives us a fact every week of why space travel is good.
We've been doing this for like 10 weeks, and Stu still is every week.
No,
well, I don't doubt it, but here's 13, the thing: it's not directly. He would be only. We've established this. Stu will only be happy if an alien actually walks up to us and goes, "Here's a thing that will cure cancer."
Howdy, folks. Howdy, folks.
Howdy.
I trust you all well. So after last week's success and slight admission from Stu that perhaps space travel and observation, although expensive, might actually be worth it, I wanted to try a hypothetical practical experiment.
Ooh, a thought experiment.
Let's assume that I was to give you a postcode in the south of England and ask you to drive there. How would you undertake such a mission? I would lay money on the fact that you would enter the postcode into your preferred Maps app and navigate using the directions suggested by the app.
That makes perfect sense, yes.
Gone are the days of using the good old-fashioned A to Z map with roads drawn on paper in a grid index.
Unless you're Carl Pilkington, in which case you should totally be using an A to Z and not be lazy.
Although some may say we are far worse off for it. Personally, I prefer the former method, and that solely relies upon satellite navigation.
Yeah, that's why they call it a GPS.
This valuable and vital system relies fairly heavily on satellites and consequently space travel.
Yes.
Ladies and germs, I give you GPS, without which transportation and navigation will take so much longer.
I actually remember I drove across the United States using a small travel atlas in 1999, so it can still be done, but it's a lot easier with GPS.
Yeah,
I used to have printouts and holding onto the steering wheel with your thumbs, and you're like,
do you remember when you used to do that?
Yeah.
You used to be like you used to go in the AA, didn't you? And put where you wanted to go, and it would give you a
pages of A4 on a really shitty printer.
Turn left here, turn right there.
And then as soon as you got lost, you're like, oh man, now I'm screwed because I've gone off piste.
Now the thing is, right, Nigel, I would give you this, right, apart from the fact, as you pointed out yourself, a trusty old A to Z could get you to the same place.
But our lives are a lot better. It's a lot easier to have the robot
It's not a
telling you where to
necessity,
go.
though, is it?
No, it's not. But this has never been about necessities.
Just saying. So it costs a lot of money for something you can do with a bit of paper.
So you don't use your GPS then? You were Carl Pilkington. Because it's better, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. It's easier.
Yeah, you could argue that a lot of developments we've made.
I like having a rock that I bang against another rock. I don't need a microwave.
But if you're not testing the water and trying new things, how are you ever going to find this amazing? You don't know what it is yet, Stu. It could be amazing.
Yeah, well, it could be. Well, he's got a lot to go yet. So he's got 52 of these, one for every week of the year.
Speaking of banging things against things, this is your head in the wall.
So is
Nigel.
Although, actually, I read an article this week that made me realize space travel is necessary space exploration, should we say, is potentially necessary for some stuff.
Suck it, Nigel. You tried, you failed. But this article he read in the Sun.
Yeah, I've actually come up with one of my own. Well,
sending Elon Musk onto on a rocket to
now,
Mars.
There's an investment that's worth making.
No, it's actually NASA tracking Earth-destroying asteroids. Potentially large objects that might destroy the Earth. And
that it would be good if we didn't destroy the Earth with asteroids.
Exactly, and they did test out that rocket thing, didn't they, to send it off course so it wouldn't actually hit the Earth.
No,
in real life they did.
It's nothing to do that. Here's what it is. They took all the data that we got from people playing asteroids, and that's what's guiding these systems.
That's what it is. So that might make me slightly convinced, but that's just one thing.
I didn't realize it was a laundry list. There have to be at least 10.
Well,
the Earth not being destroyed. I guess it's worth it. Now,
so I'm guessing
here's the thing, though, Stu. Yeah, but here's the thing, Stu. Chris is going to be very upset. Like, look at all those rocks we're destroying. Those rocks don't hurt anybody.
Oh my God! Think about
that's what we've reduced your identity to, Chris. You love rocks over human beings.
I'm a gravel monkey.
Yeah.
So thank you, Nigel. You've almost got me convinced, but I need more. I need more stuff, man.
He's insatiable. Close. I need more.
Good. He's not throwing his water on in one go. He's got to drip feed.
Well, there are rocks, thousands and thousands of rocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that is shout out time. So I'm gonna go first. Fuck you two. I'm shouting out. Right, fuck it. Because Chinny, the reason he's not here is because he's got a new house. So he's moving house and shit.
He better be back. He's not going to be back next week, is he? He said he's not getting internet until the start of March.
I have no, but he could use his. I think he could use his data on his phone and link it to that possibly.
Get with it.
Yeah, come on, man. You can't stay off forever. Don't give us no more bullshit. Next week you should.
Although
we
love having Chris and the other folks around.
Yeah, we love having all these different people on, but you know what I mean. It's not Chinny. No offense, Chris.
Well, I don't. It wasn't. That's quite so fun coming on without Chinny. So
so you want me gone?
Ways.
Yeah, saying us two are just boring old shits.
Well, I mean, one of us is.
It's not the same.
Wow. Thanks for that. I'm glad I asked you.
Anyway,
my shout out is to Chinny.
Brilliant. We've seen some pictures of Chinny's new gaff.
It's a fucking mess. Get it cleaned up, Chinny.
And it's massive. It's a massive mess. Yeah, he moved in on Wednesday.
I don't care. Get it sorted.
Yeah, moved in on Wednesday. His dining room is full of boxes.
Yeah.
His living room is just a laptop on a table.
You'd never guess anybody lives there.
And a sofa. No, it just looks like a hobo's house.
Yeah.
And he's got a nice hallway on, nice tiles, gotta say. Lots of nice original features.
Yeah.
So he's got lots of nice stuff going on in his new gaff. But it looks pretty cool. So, him and Tara are now rattling around the massive house together.
Yeah.
Cleaning. I said to him, you do realise you've got to clean a lot more now because it's a massive house. So I reckon, right, I'm going to predict this now, Duke, right? I reckon within a month, they'll have a cleaner.
Maybe.
Now they'll have someone's coming to clean for them.
We'll see.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just going to look like Mr. Trebus forever.
Yeah.
And Chris will know what I'm talking about.
Sure he will.
It's basically like this, what you've got on screen now.
For listeners, I found an episode of Hoarders and just put that up.
An episode of Chinny's house.
Chinny's house, yeah, the Hoarder edition. Garbage
That's exactly
everywhere.
what it looks like. No, it doesn't. It is just lots of boxes.
Yep.
So there you go.
There you go.
Over to you, Duke.
Yeah, I'm going to shout out... we had a tragedy in the Veteran Gamers community recently. Marty, a.k.a. Greasy Fish Lips, passed away. Yeah. People who knew him knew that he'd been battling cancer for quite a few years. He always had a very, strange sense of humor about it. He would make jokes about going through chemo and stuff, but he also...
We joked about it when I had my heart failure.
Right.
When he was in the chat, we joked about it.
It's gallows humor. It's the type of thing where you try to... you face it with some kind of upbeat something, and anyway, he passed, and he was a great dude. And I went looking back through. It's weird because now, we have an archive of conversations and stuff. Once upon a time, I might look at letters I had sent or, like whatever. But, if you had a voicemail from somebody back in the day and they passed away, you might listen to that. Well, now I can look at our Twitter back and forth and there was this exchange we had once upon a time when he was first playing Rocket League. And he was like, what advice do you have for a noob? And I was like, oh, man. And another time he had this mushroom that looked like a butt. And he was like, hey, check it out. It's a mushroom that looks like a butt. He was always trying to be funny. He was always, seeking support at times when he had a hard time dealing. Chemo fucks you up. So
he had a rough time, and he had a lovely young family as well.
Yeah,
so it must have been so hard.
Sad.
Yeah, totally. So, I collected at one point memorials for Gary when he passed. I never actually posted those on VG Hub, but I will, and I'm going to do some with Marty. So if anybody has any memories of Marty that you want to post, send them to me, Duke Scath at Twitter. And let's remember him for being an awesome guy. We were lucky to know him, and may he rest in peace, and love to his family as well.
There you go, Chris. Over to you.
Nice and G. Yeah, I can't really follow that, but I will just say a big shout out to Seth and Rob because we
How
still
is Rob these days? Do you still speak to Rob?
We still chat. We still got a chat going with me, Seth, Rob, and Zach. If you remember Zach from when we first started back in the day. Yeah. So it's rare, but we catch up every now and then. It's usually just about games. We send some holiday snaps every now and then to each other, and how we're doing. So yeah, those guys are all good.
Cool.
No, nothing to report, but hi to you guys if you're listening. I don't know if they still listen.
Well, this is a perfect reason to give it a best shot.
Probably do.
Who wouldn't want to hear Chris again for the first time?
The community's different,
I think it's weird.
10 years, so
COVID made a massive difference though, because we'd obviously not got together at EGX or whatever for the last 4 years.
Yeah,
a lot changed and
COVID, man, it's a cause of a lot of shit.
Time keeps on slipping.
Yeah, it does. It does. We're all old. I'm 50 now. 50.
Yeah, you're
goddamn
bad
50.
heart condition.
51 in May, and I've got a fucking dodgy ticker.
Yeah.
Who
knew?
Everything else is fine though, Chris. The good thing is
the other bits are working. That's
his
good.
wang works perfectly.
I'm non-ischemic, so I've no underlying causes.
Well, all right.
So that's good.
It's potentially genetic. Well, it isn't. It isn't.
I'm glad they caught it, and I'm glad you're still with us before they.
Yeah, I'm still here at the moment anyway, so that's all good. I'm still ticking, kind of.
Yeah. There we go. And on that note, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for listening and watching. Shout out to people in the chat too, by the way. Ian is the only one who said hi, but that's because Chinny's not here to give it its usual.
I know it's been a quiet night.
Flip it about.
But we appreciate everybody listening in. Get in touch with us, podcast at veterangamers.co.uk if you want to send an email, or go to veterangamers.co.uk and find the speak pipe button down at the bottom, and you can send us a message real easy. And we'll talk at you next week.
We will.
Thanks, everybody.
So bye.
Won't you? Television set and go and do something less boring instead. Sitting at home, watch TV, hurry up, no good to me.
Bitcoin ain't nothing but soybeans on the computer.
Perfectly level flying is the supreme challenge of the scale model pilot.
Just to let you know, Duke, I'm going to Rome in 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be just me.
Wow. But also to let you know, the show's not affected because I'm going on Monday, coming back Friday.
I see what you did there.
Just showing off.
Yeah, every week he's going this place and that place. He's going
well, you got to make the most of it, man.
Well, some of us have more opportunities to make the most of it than other people. I can't just jet off to some nearby place.
No.
Well, I hope you enjoy your time in Rome, even though
busy, man. You've got to go. Went to Chester the other week. We're off to Rome. We're going to Anglesey on them.
Chris, he
for
does
our
all right.
Summer holidays.
I should point that way.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
nice one, guys. Well, thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming
You're
on, Chris.
welcome.
It was good to have you.
It was cool to have you. Thanks for agreeing to come on. Never
Good
mind
to see you
anything
again.
else.
Good luck with the kid and all that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, she's good fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm in my
Kids
element.
are-
I get to be
Oh,
I
that's
get to be a kid again and be a dick. You know.
Heck yeah.
And she's completely outdoorsy because she has no choice.
We go camping all the time. Like,
Yeah, I bet she loves it though, doesn't she?
She does. Yeah, she does. We're going to Canada camping for 3 weeks in the summer, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. Canada
Very
camping.
cool.
Wow.
See Fraser there.
Yeah, you will.
Wrong part of the world, but wrong part of Canada. But,
Yeah, go and see Fraser.
Yeah.
Hey, Fraser. Right, I will let you guys go.
All right. Well, have a great evening,
yeah.
everybody.
Yeah,
long.
you too.
Yeah.
Take it
I
easy.
guess
Good luck with
I'll-
it all, and yeah.
Yeah.
I'll keep it real.
Of course we will. Hopefully we'll be at EGX again at some point in time.
Yeah.
But Dan
Game
didn't even
club
go
meetup.
this last year because he said it was crap the year before, so he didn't go.
It's weird times.
I feel like it's got a sort of limited shelf life, to be honest. I don't know how much longer it'll go on for. Because it
They
kind
must
of
have
got a
struggled
bit,
the last couple of years.
little bit crapper every time we went.
Yeah.
So, I guess
But
we'll wait.
I'm
and
still
see
going to
what
have
happens.
a few beers or
Yeah.
Well,
just have a
lemonades,
meet
whatever.
up for
I
meetup
can
sake.
have something non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
There you go. You and Chinny can sit over in the non-drinkers corner.
I know,
Let
yeah.
all
I'm
cool
with Chinny
kids
now.
hang out over here.
Total man. Total
Yeah.
teetotaler.
You weirdo.
So me and Chinny were the same person.
That's right.
Rightio. I will
All
leave
right.
you to it. Have a
Bye.
nice evening.
Healthy guys. Look after yourselves. Bye.
You too, man.
Yes.